Good morning, Twitterverse, or should I say good afternoon, Twitterverse. What's happening, everyone? Matthew, how you doing today? I have a wonderful guest co-host today. We have the amazing Matthew. That's his name that was coined in our 24-hour stream, and it's sticking.
Oh man, y'all didn't forget about me?
Never forget about the
Man,
amazing Matthew.
I feel so appreciated. How you doing, man? How's your weekend
I'm doing
going?
fantastically well, man. How are you doing?
Doing good, making a cup of coffee.
Oh, beautiful.
So, doing good now. Be doing better in like
I
15
feel you. I
minutes.
just made that cup of coffee. It's funny because I opened up a booking tool today. Actually, I'll pin that to the top. I set up a Calendly for this stream, and like within 5 minutes, it got like booked up. Like I have like 2 weeks of spots booked up. I was like, "Oops,
Nice.
I didn't know that there was this much of a demand." So I'm gonna pin that to the top so anyone listening right now can like get in their spot. Because as of right now, it looks like I'm booked. I'm about to be booked into July by tomorrow, which is great. I mean, there's no better motivation to keep the show going. You know what I mean? I did this on purpose, so it's like, week 2, you start fading, and you're like, maybe we do once a week show. As soon as I start getting those thoughts, I just double down. Like, let's book more guests.
Hey man, you just threw your thoughts out into the ether. People felt you, felt the vibe, and they brought it right back. That's how I see
That's
it.
exactly what's happening. I appreciate it. And it's like, my bio says Web3's Walt Disney, but like, it kind of I want to change it to Web3's Joe Rogan, but like I'll do that at like episode 300. You know what I mean? Like once it gets like episode
Honestly, you
1,000,
should.
yeah.
And then actually have Joe Rogan on the show.
That would be a blast, dude. If I was the dude who onboarded Joe Rogan into Twitter Spaces, oh, I'd be a legend. I'd also be like making my own demise because I would be irrelevant because everyone just go watch Joe Rogan. So maybe I should not onboard him to Twitter Spaces.
Y'all heard it first. Y'all heard it here
I heard it here
first.
first. I'm gonna make sure
Joe
that
Rogan, don't come to the
I'm gonna
Twitter
go
space.
hang out with Joe Rogan at the Comedy Store and talk shit about Twitter Spaces. Like, don't get on, man. No, man. Don't get on, man. It's not for you, man. Just be like, sorry, bro. It's not for you, Joe. You don't want to be on here. It's for losers. You're cool. You're too cool to be on here. And just like try to like downplay it as much as possible. I do want to do that. I do want to like be the dude who onboards a bunch of funny comedians. Like, cause I have like a lot of Web 2 comedian friends that are like successful, in like the world, and that would be a lot of fun. Start like getting them over here.
Honestly, like that's what I'm kind of looking forward to.
Yeah.
Just
They're all
like
making
more personalities
podcasts.
like yourself. Just like, yeah,
And I'm like,
honestly,
fucking
just
no
being
one's
that
listening
voice
to
for the
your
people to like get
podcast,
onboarded.
guys. No one, yeah, exactly what you said. Like, no one's listening. I was saying, like, I didn't mean to cut you off. Like, no one's listening to their podcast, and I'm just like, come over here and like be, interactive and engaging. I don't know. Maybe it's because I can't.
Hey, I mean, not everyone can be as much of an extrovert as you, Chris. I'm just gonna let you know now.
And it's funny you say that because I'm the biggest introvert in the fucking planet. That's why this is perfect for me because like I finally found a job I can do while being a massive introvert and just sitting. It's the introverted extroverts. It's like there's a great poster for us. It says introverts unite separately in your own homes.
I need to put that on the shirt.
Dude, it's so funny. I almost bought it as a poster for this place. Introverts unite, but now that this happened, I'm definitely buying it. Unite separately in your own homes. But now, like, we can actually talk to each other, and this is the scariest technology ever created because we can spin up rooms and little, like little spin-off sects. This is literally the stuff that started the American Revolution, and it's why the British went in and like occupied all the coffee shops and the tea houses and stuff and the bars, and they would just like because that's where the revolutions were happening, And they shut them
Man,
down.
those revolutions happening right up in the Twitter spaces.
Yeah, straight up. I mean, every day. And it's so funny because that's where Twitter. That's when if you're old enough to know Twitter's genesis, right? That was what really put Twitter on the map. Twitter was like, I don't know if this microblogging thing is going to be a thing. And then the Arab Spring happened, and it was, Twitter was used as a communication platform for like a literal revolution, and that kind of changed things. And people were like, oh, this is a different thing. This is more of like a public utility type thing, Which is technically,
No, exactly.
I guess it's technically also when they were supposed to start treating it like a public utility, not a private company. But we'll get there eventually with time, Because Twitter at this point, I mean, I don't know your feelings on it, but my feelings are Twitter's at this point is so big that it's like, this is like the railroad or the telegram. This is like a public utility. If you took this away, it would be like very difficult for people to communicate.
No, I agree. I mean, I think for me, like when it comes to Twitter, I'm pretty, what's the word? I don't even want to say lukewarm, but it's just like, for me, it's just like you make of it what you want.
Yeah.
Because like, I don't know, everyone's Twitter's, I remember like someone tried to follow me on Twitter and like, I just gave them my phone one day and they're like, man, your algorithm's completely different than mine, bro. And I was just
Yeah.
like, yeah, I mean, it's really just, if you understand how the algorithm tries to, play you, then you can play the algorithm to your advantage. If you know the things you're looking for, if you know the things that are geared towards your interests, like, then you make that experience for yourself. But then, I can see how like, there's so many times where we talk about big tech, whether it's Facebook, Twitter, whatever, and like just how that social media can be like so negative, or just like the impacts for it can just harm people in so many, I almost want to say like subliminal ways. But
Oh yeah.
you
Well, the
can take that.
subliminal context of looking over your neighbor's wall and seeing a manufactured, facade of their house. It's not really their house every day, and it's changing and getting bigger and cooler. And it's like, now look at my Lambo and look at this, and it's like, none of that stuff is real. That's all a curated, event that's happening for the viewer, and it's like the only intended purpose is to make the viewer like sad, you know what I mean, and like jealous. So that can't be really. That's how I would explain Instagram to space alien. I'd be like, we post our pictures on here to make each other jealous, and it causes a lot of pain and sadness in the society. And they'd be like, why do you have this? And we'd be like, we don't know. We're not sure how to turn it off.
Hey, once you get plugged in, it's hard to plug yourself. So it's just like, how can people use that in a way that's actually going to benefit themselves rather than, like you said, kind of just kind of make them feel like shit, on a daily. One of those reasons where it's like, it's like I love and hate social media. Like it's easy to get hooked onto it, but like you said, there's so many ways that can just affect like your mental health and just like your own feng shui, for lack of
Well,
a
it's
better
like
word.
the real question is you feeling like shit? Is that a bug or is that a feature? Do
Yes
you
and
know what I'm
yes.
saying? And that's where it gets like nefarious, because it's like that could be a 3-hour conversation. You know what I mean? About how it's a feature and not a bug, because I'm in marketing. I've been in like behavioral modification technically for the last 10, 15 years. That's what marketing is, right? We're modifying people's behaviors. People are sitting there not buying your products, and we got to work on that. We got to modify that behavior and find a way to make them need your product, right? That's what marketing is. So you're essentially like, the very fact that this whole space is a marketing tool, and Twitter becomes a marketing tool, Instagram, they become marketing tools, is obvious, right? Because the whole thing is a marketing platform. Like we could just exist without social networks and be fine, right? Like we did before them. So, but then like there was billboards, there's always a way of marketing to co-opt those spaces. And so it's like people forget that, and they think that the product's free and it's free for them to use and it's great. And there's that old saying, it's like, if the product is free, you're the product, right? Like your data, your information, your behavior, the way you click, the way you consume, that stuff is so, so valuable. And big data, that big data push, that kind of happened in 2010 through 2016, but it's over now. Like the data has been collected, and like any ways of getting new data it's all been like the big data game is kind of like over. You know what I'm saying? Like we're already been categorized and placed in numbers. They can predict exactly what me and Matthew want to buy and think.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I'm pretty easy. Like most of my budget just consists of like Thai tea and boba, but like, you ain't gotta really put me into an algorithm to find that out. You just gotta just catch me on a Tuesday. you
Just
know?
ask Matthew. Yeah, what are you into? Oh, mostly boba. All right, cool.
Yeah, most likely.
That's true. It's like we built a chainsaw to like clip a toenail. Like most people will like actually just like tell you what they're into, and they're like, no, you have to search all their data and cross-reference it to this and that. And that's so funny you say that, because like that was this when I started my advertising company, my marketing company, like in 2010. That was where we were at. Like everything was like big data and data this, and you're going to be a number. And I was just like, what about branded content? Like, what about if we just entertained people like the way we just were, but like soap operas? You know what I mean? It's sponsored by Colgate, or sponsored by this, and we just like make a show or make a just like advertise on Mad. Like Mad Men used to get bought out by Sprint, right? And like that was many years ago, but I still know that. So it made a clear enough impact with me where I was like, Sprint, you're pretty cool for this. Like they bought it because Mad Men, it sucks to watch with commercials. It's so slow. So it's like the fact that they did that, and I still remember, is proof that it works. Like the sponsorship works. Like, so that's all I'm saying. Like that was my big push back then, and people didn't get it. And now, I helped make the influencer thing a thing, and that was my form of branded content as well. I was like, that's branded content, right? Like influencer marketing is branded content because there's already a stream. When I say branded content, for those of you who don't know what I mean like any entertainment, something that's entertainment first, and that informs you like secondarily or informs you like passively or subconsciously about a product. So like you don't even have to shout it out. If I made a movie, let's say, about cars that were like all like Chevys that transformed into robots, you know what I mean? But never mentioned that it was a sponsorship and never mentioned that it was a giant car commercial. My name was Michael Bay. I would probably make billions of dollars on the Transformers franchise, right? That's what I love about the Transformers franchise. It's the greatest car commercial on the planet. And it's just like hours and hours of car commercials made by the greatest car commercial director ever, Michael Bay. So like people don't get that. And I pointed out, they're like, it is a giant car commercial. And I'm like, did you not think it was? What do you mean? So I guess I'm cursed and blessed with the ability to see behind the marketing. And I feel like the guy in They Live, Roddy Piper in They Live, who puts the glasses on and he can see, what the billboards really mean, right? Did you ever see that movie, Matthew? They Live?
No, I haven't. Seen Transformers for sure, but
You should check
no,
it
I
out.
haven't seen
Everyone
others.
who hasn't seen it, check out They Live. It's a classic, and it'll open your mind like forever. It's a John Carpenter movie, and he did it on a really low budget because I guess you have to if you're like exposing everything. But the movie's crazy because basically the idea is Roddy Piper gets these sunglasses, and when you put them on, it allows you to see the truth behind all of the marketing and deception. So if you looked at a billboard that said, it just said the Coca-Cola or whatever, and he puts the glasses on, and suddenly everything's black and white, and the billboard just says Obey, and that's actually where the Obey brand came from. Shepard Fairey's Obey brand. It was he would use like stills from that movie.
Oh, no way. So that's where the
Yeah.
inspiration came from?
Yeah, so like the classic Obey poster with like the politician who's at the microphone and he has no face, right? He's got the crazy like veins are coming out of his face and the bug eyes. It's like the one of Obey's like classic images, and so that's actually like a screen grab from the movie that he's just painted over. Yeah, and that whole movie is just about that. Like you'll see like an ad for like cologne, and then it'll put the glasses on and it'll say like procreate. It'll say like have children, and like so he gets to see behind everything. And the interesting thing is that he looks at certain people, he can see them as those ghoul things with no eyes and no eyelids, those creepy looking aliens. So it allows him to basically see like the aliens who walk among us or whatever. So it's crazy, crazy movie. And John Carpenter, as you know, is like one of the greatest horror directors ever. So it's a really, if you guys haven't seen it, They Live is stunning. Chef's Kiss, masterpiece. What's
I'll put it on
happening?
my list now.
Yeah, dude, put it on your list. Let's acknowledge some of our listeners. I'm going to pin up a They Live post up here as well. What's happening? It's Alex, but it's like ale_X. I love it. Chicky Cut 3. What's up? What's happening? Fam. What up, NS5? What's happening? Want to come up and speak? If anyone wants to come up, grab a mic and say what's up. I don't even know if we have a guest today. I know Luke DeLeo was going to come up and play some music for us. Yeah. What's up, sir? What's happening, bro? What's up, Sir Crypto? What's happening, NS5? What's going on, bro?
How's it going, guys?
How you doing? Doing fantastic.
What's up, Matthew?
Over here.
What's up? Actually, NS5 personally, or Nav. We just kind of go by first names, honestly. But it's good to have you here, bro. Hope you're having a good weekend. I know we were just chatting yesterday, but how you been?
Yeah, no, this is an interesting space. I was just checking it out, see what you guys had to say. And
Dude, thanks for coming in. It's always great having you. You're always in the smart, intelligent spaces, and so I know when you're here, it's like I'm happy because I know that there's like certain smart people that I know in spaces that are always saying smart stuff. They're always like in really interesting spaces. So when they come to my spaces, I'm always like, yes. Then I kick it up a little bit. We don't have much of a. Is there anything you want to chat about or need advice on, or you want to like advise us on or anything, bro? Because I could get into. I have a rant today, Matthew, about how to get advancement, how to advance yourself in your career by showing respect to people. So I can totally go off on that whole thing.
Honestly, that actually sounds pretty interesting. I would even call that a rant. But I'll definitely chime in if I have anything to add to it.
Yeah, I mean, all my rants are good rants. They're always trying to help. You know what I mean? I'm never like try to get down on people, even if I ever get into conflict with people in spaces or anything. It's always to try to help them. You know what I mean? So I'll be the guy that sometimes comes on the mic and is like, okay, listen, man, everyone here in the room is kind of getting annoyed, and you got to sit down. You know what I mean? It's like I'll be that guy sometimes, because it's just people are polite, and I'm like, you're not doing anyone a service by being polite to someone who doesn't understand that they're, you know what I mean? Like you can't assume everyone knows how to read a room, and you got to help those people and be like, hey, listen, the rest of us are getting a weird, you're rubbing us the wrong way, and you're not trying to. And I know that would horrify you if you knew that this was happening. So let me just slide into your DMs and be like, yo, bro. So I find myself doing that a lot. So what's happening, sir? Sir Crypto just popped up the speaker and then back down. Sorry for the noise. I have people cleaning in the background. So it's just, is it really bad and distracting?
Oh, no, I can barely hear it. You're good.
Oh, perfect. So basically, what I was going to say today is that there's a great book about this as well. It's called How to Win Friends and Influence People. I don't know if you guys have ever seen it, but have you ever read that one?
No, put me on, please.
No.
Oh, it's great. It's by Dale Carnegie, and it's a bestseller for 60, 70 years now. It's been out forever, so you can get it for like free basically because it's public domain, I believe, at this point. So basically, the book is about the summation of the book. The Cliff Notes is that if you want to win friends and influence people, you have to make people feel important. Everyone wants to feel important, and typically the world does not allow you to feel important. The world's everyone's very narcissistic. And it is a narcissistic need to want to feel important, but whatever, you can judge people or you can, get along in life and you can get far in life. Right. So it's like, Matthew, vamp stall for 2 seconds.
2 seconds. All right. But yeah, I guess riffing off of that, just recognizing that everyone does want to feel important at the end of the day. I think it's just more so recognizing that everyone has something unique that they can bring to the table. Not really sure where Tiano is going to head with that, but at least from my own perspective, what I can at least add to that is, I think when it comes to any type of organization, any type of venture that you're trying to, create with a team, there's always going to be something. Oh, go ahead, Nav.
Yeah, no, you're spot on. Keep going. I'll say something after what you said.
Yeah, no, for sure. But I think it's just more so like being able to highlight everyone's strengths because, when you're working in a team setting, someone's going to have something that they do better than everyone else, and you may not even know it yet. And so I think the more that you let people feel like they're, appreciated, respected, and also like showcased within whatever, setting that may be. Like I said, it could be a team setting, it could be your career, your family, just your friend group. I think when you're able to do that and, at least kind of put people on that type of pedestal, they'll want to bring you up with them. And so I think it's just kind of, for lack of a better word, like, giving out the energy that you want to receive because people are going to reciprocate that. People
You're 100%. Matthew, that's a wicked attitude. That's a good way of looking at things, I think. You're right. And I think when you say importance in the right way, when we want to feel important, it's in the right way. What fuels me?
What way is important to you, right?
Like
in the
for
way
me,
that matters to
I
you.
like this. I think Matthew, what Matthew's saying, like Matthew's a very good listener. I met Matthew a few months back now. I think it's about 2 months now, Matthew.
Yeah, just about
2 months. We've been, I think we were just in the same group chats. Like, we've been in a few group chats with you, Christiano, and I actually like listening to you. Actually, I've listened to you a number of times in the past. I've noticed now, it's a space like this is the first time I've taken part on Twitter Space and getting to know everyone in the community. And it was great and all in the beginning, but then you kind of notice there's a lot of people having ambitions and goals and stuff. And I just think it's a good way to kind of hear what other people have to say, what their ideas are. And I think for us, we are trying to work on something here, but we're not always on the Twitter Space on a regular basis. Like I've noticed myself, I've been not attending too many of these spaces because it can kind of get repeat or repetitive and less inspirational. But I'll get on platforms when I'm ready to create, when I'm ready to do something, and I think Matthew is the same way too. We formed, we're in a company together now. We've been in a company and we're slowly progressing towards our goals. And we're just kind of, I just feel like we're still out there listening to what other people have to say, how to promote themselves, how to market themselves, how to sell NFTs, how to get things going. And I think we're on the right direction. It's just, I just noticed it takes a little bit of time to get our product out there in the right, right way. But at the same time, I kind of want to build that consistency, that momentum. And I just feel sometimes like there are times where I feel like we're on the right track, but then I feel we're a little behind. But I think what, long story short, I get inspired when I'm listening to certain people, and I just want to get things going. Like I think you feel the same way, right, Matthew? And I just got into this conversation because I think, Cristiano, I don't know you too well, but I'm reading your profile here that are you involved with Disney? And you said you're a cartoonist?
I'm not involved with Disney. I'm going to be like one of the companies that they try to buy, and I'm already like not necessarily like owned by a bigger company, but like I work with a lot of giant companies in the Hollywood and in like the space because I've just been in the space for like 15 years. So this was like me saying Web3 is Walt Disney is me kind of throwing stones at like the one company that's gobbling everyone up and being like, listen, I'm going to do what Disney didn't get to do, what he died before he got to do. You know what I mean? And he would have loved the metaverse. He would have been all over this. His whole thing was building worlds. So it's like, I want to build worlds.
So we're just trying to basically kind of get to know the right people and see what we can do for one another. Like my philosophy, if we can kind of create some sort of content that we would like, I want to meet with the right people, grow the company in the sense where we can kind of help one another. And I just feel sometimes when you're on the Twitter space for someone, like there's a lot of awesome people out there, but then we do this, it's like we're trying to envision something cool, something visually cool and sound like. Matthew, maybe you can kind of elaborate what I'm trying to say. I think Matthew, see, the thing with Matthew and I, we kind of see the same philosophy, but when I'm trying to articulate it and elaborate, it's hard for me to explain what I'm trying to say. Maybe
And to answer
Matthew
your
can
question,
kind of
yes, we do animation as well. That's I run Stay Tuned, so it's all about cartoons and comedy and stuff like that.
Yeah. Well, Matthew, you want to fill in some? I guess Cristiano knows. I think he might know what you're doing. Or have you told him what we're doing?
I'll probably try to catch him up if there's anything I missed.
Catch me up, please. Honestly, that's why I wanted you here. I was like, me and Matthew have been meaning to talk, and I've just been so busy with like all these spaces. I do a space every day, and then from 4 to 6, I'm doing the space, and then I go to a next space, and I co-host, and I help with that one. And so I just end up going till 4 a.m. because then there's rap ciphers in the middle of the night. So I just go and go and go. And so I've been like, dude, honestly,
man,
this
those
is
rap ciphers, they're so fun though.
This is dude. They're so much fun, and I'm going there as A&R as well because for music packs. So I'm going there to like find the new talent. So it's like that's my third job as an A&R guy. So this is my marketing job right now, and then it's like my comedy job in a few hours, right? And I entertain, and I'm a comedian at night, and then like late at night, I am doing A&R at the clubs, this is the new version of the clubs, right? So yeah, please catch me up. That's why we got on this space too, because I was like, we're gonna have to just talk on spaces. It's the next time we're gonna see each other.
Awesome.
Yeah.
No, yeah. I mean, I guess just filling in from like where Nav picked off. Yeah, I think just some of the things that we were talking about earlier, kind of similar to like you, Chris. Like we noticed like how easy it is to get like sucked into, I guess, just like Twitter Spaces and just like the whole community that it comes with. And so like I noticed for me personally, it's like I'm an artist and a web developer. So like a lot of the time when I'm creating stuff, it's like I do like to kind of just be in my element, like not necessarily be alone, but at least have like, just keep my energy intact and just kind of like be able to like transmit that to canvas to like whatever medium I'm trying to create with. And so like for me, it's just like I noticed the more I get engaged with communities, it's good, but it's a trade-off because it's like you're engaging with communities, you're building that sense of like recognition and, people actually understanding who you are. But then at the same time, you're also draining that budget of energy that you have. You only have 24 hours a day to accomplish what you want to do. You only have 24 hours a day. You only have 7 days a week, to plan out how you're going to do that in your schedule.
That's what I was going to get in. That's what I was like the conclusion of my rant was going to go into that. Before I get back to that, Sir Cry, what's happening? Or Sir Crypto.
Sir Crypto.
Sir Crypto. I was like, Sir Cry.
Now he's going to
stir fry.
No, I heard you say something about career, and advancing your career through respect. And I wanted to hear, maybe I missed the rant, but I'd like to
actually,
hear.
Perfect timing. I actually had to run off and pay my cleaning person real quick, and so they were like, and finally stopping back. I literally paid them to stop vacuuming. I was like, "You're done. Let's go." I told you had till now. The show is vacuum in the background. That's not okay. Let's go. So I didn't even do the stream. So it's actually perfect. Dovetail it back. So to touch on with what you were saying, Matthew, and to bring it all back. Like why I got on the rant was because, I'm out here offering my time. I'm offering playing beats at night. I'm freestyling. I'm giving advice to others. I'm offering my time for free because for me, like I have NFT projects that I haven't launched yet. I have music that I haven't launched yet. I have a ton of projects that I'm going to be selling down the road. But for me to feel comfortable doing that, I need to like give out a ton of goodwill and a ton of charity first because that's the type of person I am. I'm like terrible at promoting myself, amazing at promoting others. And there's a lot of people that I'm meeting that are like that, like Patches like that. So we promote each other now. So it's good to find an accountability partner too, who you can be like, I'll promote you, you promote me. And I also make sure she gets paid first and she makes sure that I get paid first because we're both terrible at that too. So this is like my second go around and like a second go around paying myself first and promoting myself better, right? So that being said, like everyone's time is so limited, right? So that that's why I set up the Calendly up there where you guys can book as a guest. I'm setting up a 1 hour consultation for right now. It's about $100, but people tell me I'm supposed to raise it, but I'm like, then that's fine. Then that means it's cheap and I want it to be cheap, but like $100 consultation because I don't have the time to even talk to people. And people like Matthew who reach out to me and are cool when we talk on the stream, those people don't pay the consultation, right? Those people just get right through because they came in and they showed me respect and they said what's up and they waited their turn on the space. So that's what these spaces are for too. These are the people that wow me in these spaces and talk to me like a human and be respectful of my time. Those people don't have to pay for my time and for an hour. But the people who come in and are just I want to promote my thing. I want to just yell over me. I go, okay, you can go listen. And if you want to do this, contact me separately, or if they flood my DMs, right? So that's me also kind of trying to self-promote myself, but it's not about the money for me. I'm putting the money there to make people take it seriously, right? And to make people treat it with respect. It's serious inquiries only. So it's what is the minimum amount of money? I'll make it $50. Whatever the minimum amount of money is where it's only serious inquiries apply because, yes, time is important. So now I'll get back to the respect thing. So on the respect thing, Dale Carnegie says how to win friends and influence people is you show them respect. So, for example, you can get out of a ticket with a police officer. If you were speeding and the cop pulls you over and you go, oh, my God, officer, thank you so much for stopping me. I didn't even know how fast I was going. Thank God you're here. I could have killed someone. And you start really chastising yourself and getting down on yourself and making them to be a hero. They'll be they're not going to give you the ticket. They're going to be all right, just calm down. I am a hero, but just calm down.
I've heard about that. Does that really work?
Dude, it works. It works
Sometimes.
with everyone. Not every single cop, I'm saying, but it'll work with, and this was written, in the 20s or fucking 30s. So the cops were different back then, right? They never seen the LAPD. So I don't know if it would work with the LAPD.
They were different in the 80s than they are now.
Yeah, here's what would work with the LAPD, which I do. And I learned this from this book. When the LAPD pulled me over, I have my hands at 2 and 10 because I get tan out here. And when I get tan out here, I'm darker than most Hispanic people, right? So right now, I'm currently a dark mocha caramel. And so I put 2 and 10 on the wheel. They don't know I'm Italian. They don't know what I am. So 2 and 10 on the wheel. They pull me over. I go, hello, officer. They go do you know how fast you're going? Everything, sir, officer. Yes, sir. No, sir. License and registration. Yes, sir. I'm going to take my right hand and reach into my pocket and get my wallet. Is that okay, sir? Get verbal confirmation, making eye contact the entire time, putting my hand in my pocket. I'm doing that not making a show of it. I'm doing that to show respect because I know that these people go out there and these cops go out there and they're taking their life in their hands and they're nervous and there's a ton of guns and a ton of unregistered guns all over LA and they don't know if they're coming home. You know what I mean? So I'm trying to show respect to people that are in a very tense situation and I don't want someone with a gun to be nervous around me, So it's self-preservation as well, right? So even that's like the new form of like doing it. You know, it's like you can maybe not like get out of a ticket, maybe you still get the ticket, but maybe you're not going to jail, maybe you're not getting shot that day. So like I do that every single time to the point where they're like laughing at me. They're like, okay, calm down. And I'm like, no, you guys calm down first. Stop. Don't shoot anyone for 5 years and then I'll calm down. Cool? Deal? So it's like, it's about showing them respect because it's like they're not calm. They're nervous, you know? I would be nervous right now if I was a cop too. Public sentiment against police officers is at all-time high, you know? People are taking shots at them and shit, and they're still going up to work every day. So it's like, it's got to be tough, you know? And so it's like, and, you know, people shouting ACAB in your face. And you're like, why do I get up and do this? Like, that's got to be one of the most thankless jobs right now is being a police officer right now, honestly, during this whole public sentiment. So, yeah, because it's like you still put your shoes on and you still go to work every day. And you're like, you can't tell on the bad cops or you'll get shot in the fucking head. If there's a corrupt cop and you tell on a corrupt cop, that doesn't end well for you guys. It's like, you know, so that's the problem is there's corrupt DAs, there's corrupt chiefs, you know, there's corrupt people at the top who allow this stuff to go on, right? But there are a lot of good cops who I've talked to who like have explained things to me about how things go down in their precincts. And I'm like, oh, it's like that, huh? I'm like, yeah, it's literally like the mafia, you know? Like the mafia has taken over every single, not, you know, the Italian mafia, but, you know, like, every single police station is not every single one, but a lot of them are, you know, like that. So my point is, I'll get off the cop rant. I'm sorry. Showing people respect in the industry, how I use it to get far, was basically when I worked with someone, like I'm working with a new boss right now at a big comic book company, and maybe I know certain things that are better than him. Maybe he knows certain things that are better than me. Who's to say? But I do know that if I come at him with respect, and I come at him like a human, and I act like he's the most important person in the room, and he's the coolest person, and he's the, you know, the pardon my French, with the, you know, big swinging D in the room, like, that costs me nothing. It costs me nothing but just checking my own ego, which I try not to, like, even have be a thing through meditation.
I think you probably want to reinterpret that. I think you do feel that they're important. You see the good qualities in them.
Yeah, it
so
is
not
natural,
acting like you're not pretending.
Acting.
You're not pretending that they are, because I
No.
think you do see the value in them.
Yes.
And you just want to let them know. You want to remind them, right? Because
yes.
I think there's a lot of talented people out there, and it's just a matter of, it just blows my mind that how there's not very many people that really, they kind of approach one another as, hey, can you do this for me and that? But there's not very much compliment out there. People say, hey, this is you're good at what you do. Like, I can see potential in this, right?
Why do you think that is? Do you think like that it's because they assume people get it? Like for me, like people don't compliment me on things, and then they assume that I get it all the time.
I
like,
think
nah,
we're in a world where it's all about me, kind of mentality. It's like strongest to the fit. Like, it's like everyone thinks they got to do it on their own. And I totally am against that.
Yes.
I think what we're lacking as a society, and especially with the social media and all this, like the one strong negative thing I hate about social media is you lack what's the word? You lack communication, I feel sometimes. I find like when you're texting and you're posting all the stuff
isn't that ironic? How ironic is that? It's a communication platform. Isn't that ironic? Like, it's a communication platform.
And I feel we kind of are going backwards. At the same time, we're moving forward, but we are going backwards in the sense of proper communication, if that makes any sense.
Yeah. Well, you're right on the sense that, like, humans are a tribal species, right? So we are still tribal. And if an alien were to look at us, we're not past like a type 0 civilization. We're still tribal. We are not even a type 1, okay? We're not even close to being like qualified to like chill in the cosmos, okay? So like that's the truth. And the truth is we are tribal, and we need to communicate in tribes, and we need to have that. And like these platforms are made to help with that. And then they literally end up segmenting us and not letting us talk with each other. And that's what I think is so interesting about what you said, is that maybe that's what Web3 even is. It's like, isn't Web3 just like the people who want to do it together versus the people who want to do it alone? You know?
I kind of see that, but then I also notice that it's not consistent. It's like people are having the right attitude and they feel like, okay, we're going to get this going. But then sometimes you kind of notice that, they want to do more of their stuff involved and they want their help. But I think there's got to be a balance. I think
Like,
in
do you think
order,
they'll wash out? You know what I mean? Like, I'm thinking, like, maybe if we just wait them out. Like, like they will, like, the con artists will come in, rob some stuff. We'll all be like, you're a con artist. We'll chase them out of town. And then, like, eventually over time, you're like, these are growing pains right now. That's my feeling.
I don't think they mean it, but I think it's just the attitude. It's the mentality that they're involved in. They're so used to that. And if you're not seeing that person in person, it's like it doesn't really affect them,
Yeah. And you're taught
What I
to
mean?
not trust him. Like, so actually Brad's here. I was going to quote Brad on it, but now Brad can say it himself. Brad, I was going to say your quote, but can you come in and drop your amazing quote? Brad said this to me this morning to help me with this whole thing. Are you available to speak, Brad? Bradley, your father's talking. All right, Brad's not available. Then I'm going to say your quote for you, bro. So what Brad said was, respect is automatic, trust is earned, right? Because he was helping me out with someone who was like disrespecting me. And, because I was like, and he was like, he's like, I can't fuck with these people who are like, trust is automatic and respect is earned. Because this person like, gave me their number and was like texting me and everything, but then was like not showing me respect. And I'm like, how are you going to trust me with your number? How are you going to try to work together, build a project, whatever, do something together, and then you're not going to respect me during it? And like me and Brad were just like laughing about that, how that's like so bizarre to us because we're so like respect people automatically. Like that's manners, right? That's manners. And then you earn the trust. Like I can not know you and not trust you, but I'm still not going to like talk over you and interrupt you, you know?
That is true.
Like if I do it by accidentally, I'll catch myself because I get there's a delay. I give everyone a chance, but when someone does it 16 times, I'm like, all right, chill. Like you don't. And the person was like, I didn't even know I was doing it. And I was like, I know, and that's the problem. You got to look inward, bro, because you don't know that you're disrespecting everybody in this room by continually talking over them. And and that's the hard part. And so I don't try to ever scold anyone. I try to educate because everything's a teachable moment, right? And a lot of these kids are autistic, and a lot of these kids are, very brilliant people, but don't have the social skills. And so it's like, it's my job to be gentle and to be like, hey, listen, I get it. No one gets it more than me, bro. I had to work very, very hard to be able to like Matthew said, be an extrovert. I'm not naturally an extrovert. I had a stutter most of my like childhood. Like I had to work very hard to be able to communicate in this way. I would speak fast. I would slur my words. I would mumble. It was very hard for people to understand me. I thought my name was what? You know what I mean? Like, you're like, what? I thought my name was literally what? So I had to work very hard to get here. And the way I did was just through necessity. I had to start getting on the phone. I couldn't be in my, bubble anymore getting business as an advertiser and as a head of an ad agency. I had to get on these calls with these marketing executives or these, middle marketing types like brand managers and stuff. And was what
I
did
think
it.
you gotta be desperate. Like you gotta have to
Yeah.
be in
It was
a
like the King's Speech at his 5. It was
yeah.
like that,
And from my experience, you have to be in a desperate mood or desperate state of mind, or like you really want something bad. Then you get out of your comfort zone.
Yeah, like
And
the pain of not having it is worse than the pain of learning to
yeah,
do it.
like it drags on. It's like the same old thing. It's like, man, something's got to change. Something's got to give. And just what, it gets easier when you start expressing yourself and you start talking publicly and talking to a lot of people. Then people will get you. People will get to know you. And I think a lot of
Yes.
people like the genuine, get to understand that real person, right? When they get to listen to them more, right? So they'll appreciate that. And I think you're right. I think that's another issue we deal with too. A lot of people don't want to speak out too much, but there's a lot of smart, intelligent people out there that don't speak enough.
Yes, and those people especially, like when I host streams and I'm running streams and people get talked over and those people get muted all the time by like way dumber people. It's just like, and I'm like, that's fine. That can happen all over the world, but not in this fucking space. So I'm like, when I'm on the host board, I am like selectively muting. I'm going in there like a ninja, and I'm just like, no, you will not. No, you will not. And I don't mute the whole board because it's lazy. It's lazy, and it's not. It's an over course correction. It's overkill. It's like you don't have to mute everyone because then it takes like 5 seconds for it to come back. It's just look at who's interrupting, mute them, let the other person talk. And so it's really kind of cool. It's one of my favorite parts about this app is there's like I also have control of the soundboard, which is sick, which I never have as a host, as an actual panels. Because I used to host I've been hosting actual panels for like 10 years and like in moderating and guest paneling. And you can't cut someone's fucking mic when they go. When Gary Vee's on hour 3 of make content, you can't cut his mic. You know, you can mute him. If he was on my panel, I could just mute him. Like, we get it. You get it. Okay, next panelist, you know? So people who, you know,
you gotta have content.
make content, Brad. Brad, by the way, I have to hit you up with this person in the stream last night. Pluto was doing the most hilarious impression, and like no one caught what he was doing, and then I was like, "Are you doing who I think you're doing?" Because he was doing this really high pitch. I thought he was doing Joe Rogan at first, and he was just like, "Yeah, no, it's not good, man. Yeah, no, are you not really doing it, man? You know, I should know about you, man, you know." And he was like doing really squeaky and pitchy, and I was like, "Who is that voice?" And then I was like, holy shit. And I DM'd him. I was like, are you doing Gary Vee? And he was like crying faces. And I was like, I love you. Be my best friend. He's just so funny. It's so funny. I was like, dude, it was Pluto. I'll send you his thing. He was in the rap space. Yeah.
Did any of you attend the VCon?
I didn't go to VCon, no.
Okay.
Did you go?
No, but I do enjoy listening to Gary Vee.
Yeah, we just have a running joke that his content is him telling you to make content, but he's never actually made any content. So I'm like the guy I've made like 7,000 hours of content, and I never say the words "make content" in them. So like this stream doesn't count because I wouldn't tell people to make content because like, I don't think we need more content.
This stream doesn't count. It's like we've given them the most content so far ever.
Yeah,
it's this stream.
No, I'm saying
fuck. That's hilarious.
The stream doesn't count. You're saying because we already did content today?
Not sponsored by.
Not sponsored by creating content.
Yeah.
This is not content advice. No one should. It's bad advice. It's honestly, that's what my problem is. It's bad advice. You shouldn't make fucking content if you don't know how to make content. Because you know why? And people who do know how to make content, their voice gets suppressed. It's like everyone posting a black square for Black Lives Matter. And it was supposed to be like to amplify black voices, and it's just white people burying black people on a bunch of black squares.
Oh, man.
It was supposed to be for black voices to be amplified. So you see the black square and you're like, oh, what is that? And you use the hashtag, and then you go to the hashtag and you see all the black squares. Instead, it was like Becky from fucking, Calabasas being like, oh my God, black square. I'm going to post one every day. Like, yeah, shit went fucking backwards. So
something tells me you've met this person in real life.
Who, Becky from Calabasas?
Yeah.
Bro, my girlfriend works with like 6 Beckys from Calabasas.
Oh, God.
Yeah, no.
Oh, so this is like a new Karen?
Yeah, it's future Karen. It's like what Karen grows into. So the first step, it's like a Charmander.
So Becky's
it's
the
Karen first evolution. Yeah, you go from a Becky who's like, oh my God, I don't even care.
I had a girlfriend named Becky though. She was actually smart. She was hot.
To like a pre-Karen, which is like like I care a lot, and then they're really, really like aggressive about their political views and whatever. And then they turn into a full Karen where it's like, how do you not share my political views? You're not allowed to skip those views.
I have a sister named Karen.
Oh,
there you go. Oh, poor thing. That means destroyed forever.
You know what, man? Dude. He's like, all these white voices just blocking out the black voices, all these little black squares, fucking Becky, fucking Karen, and then Brad and Nav over here like, I know some cool Beckys. Becky can get it with her little black square. Karen's all right. I know a couple cool kids.
It was like, Matthew's like, you missed the man's point over here.
Yeah, I know, but the whole, I got my sister's name is Karen. Now I feel like foot, insert mouth. Like,
no, it's not your fault.
I'm just visualizing a cartoon animation by Christiano doing this as a little skit here. Based on what we're talking about.
The evolution of the Karen, that would be amazing. Good call.
You know what you should do, Cristiano? I know it takes forever, but every time we have this space recorded, you should have a little skit of an animation of just a funny.
I was thinking about doing that, dude.
Me embarrassing myself.
Yeah, no, and it's fine. It's funny you said that. I was thinking about doing that, and like maybe like the animation would be like a split screen, and like instead of it, like it would be like people sitting at their desks because it sounds like we're on a phone, right?
And you can call it Adventures on Twitter Space.
Yeah. Oh my God. Segment. Or like outer space or inner space or something like that.
Yeah.
I think inner space is funny.
Can I get my position back, please?
Fine. Oh, are you officially here? I didn't give you or Matthew.
I'm late for one freaking show in which I promoted this show in.
Okay, well, I'm gonna make you watch Matthew as a co-host. Bastard. I'm gonna make you watch Matthew sit up here as a co-host for like 10 seconds, and then
he's not even a co-host on my show.
I know. I forgot to.
I was just about to accept that co-host, but I feel like you just threw me in this man's crossfire.
No, Matthew. No, you need to. No, it's important that you sit up here and that Brad sits at speaker for a second just to punish him for being late, and then after 5 seconds, I'll let him go up. He
I
did
feel
call it
like
heavy time.
I'm an enabler right now in this man's punishment. But
Listen,
for the accept.
spare the rod,
Anyways,
spoil the child. Matthew, spare the rod, spoil the child. We need more tough love in spaces. People forget
Okay,
this. I'm
now
here to be daddy.
eject me from the space. Do it.
No, you just sit there and look for a second, and now you're getting the invite. There we go.
All right, thank you.
I said it was only 5 seconds. I'm very fair with it.
I wasn't upset about that.
See, and look, now you're like at the top co-host spot. See, because it already knew you were going to talk more. Twitter knows you. And I was like, this guy's going to go up there.
Fuck.
I know.
Twitter tagged me as a mumbler. He just
There's
goes
a mumbler.
on and on and on.
This guy just goes.
Yeah.
But yeah, so to get back to like the respect thing. I mean, that's how I got far in life. Was like, even right now, I just got hired for a new job, and like I have to work with this other dude marketing this brand that I think I know a lot. Maybe I know a lot about this brand, and so because of that, like I can be like territorial. You know what I mean? And that happens a lot, and it's like it can happen with them too. And I think, oh well, they're probably territorial over it too. And they're probably territorial over this brand too. So then you go, oh, what's the point of us both being territorial over the same thing, right? Because we both want it to be successful. So we actually have that shared thing in common. So if we can focus on the commonalities between ourselves and be like, well, yes, we have these differences. What are the similarities, right? Like, where do we come together? On what points do we come together? Because if those are strong enough points, we can ignore all the differences. You know what I mean? Like, Brad and I come together on enough points that if we ever have a difference of opinion, and we can just be like, all right, whatever, that's your opinion, that's my opinion. Like, because we actually, like, understand each other on a fundamental level that I'm like, oh, well, like, you have the same end goal that I have. So it's like we are hitching our wagons together. And like, Matthew, what you and S5 did, like, you guys are hitching your wagons together. And it's, like, so cool to see all these spaces. Everyone's kind of, like, forming this armada of canoes.
Yeah, it's funny how you say that, Christian. I was just thinking that too. I was just telling Matthew that last few days. I'm like, man, we don't say too much to each other, but we're like on the same energy level, like when it comes to ideas, right? Because
Was it
anytime
immediate too?
I
Was it
come
like
up with
right away?
something, I'll come up with something, and Matthew's like, yeah, man, that's what I was thinking too. I was like thinking the same thing, you know? So it's kind of cool to have.
Oh, you guys are telepathic. Damn.
Well, I kind of
Christiano, you got to step it up.
honestly, Matthew, do you feel that? Do you sometimes feel that, man? Because I do. I feel that personally because when we're doing something, like I don't even have to explain it to Matthew what I'm seeing because Matthew gets it. You know, like that's unique.
Brad and I innately know each other's timing and like from right away. So I was like, yeah, no, we can co-host something because like he picks it up when I need a break. You know.
Yeah, finish my sentence here. My favorite color is
penis.
Perfect. See, that's exactly. I wasn't thinking of a color. That's
I know.
What I mean. Like,
you see what I mean? I know him so well.
I was trying to trick him. Fuck. We're good.
We're good, bro.
Yeah, man. Okay, good.
Just saying. And that's why I advertise this as the best.
And I don't know if I'm telepathic. I mean, I won't say that much, but I mean, I didn't have to say much and took most of the words out of my mouth. So, you know, I think that's even better than telepathy when people are on the same wavelength. But I think honestly, yeah, kind of like he was saying, like most of the times he'll kind of point me out as being the quiet one in the room. And usually that's kind of my sign of saying like, you know, I'm just silently nodding my head in affirmation of what you're saying. Or if it's not that, I'm usually just trying to gather my thoughts to give you a better response.
Oh, no.
Like,
You're not a smile and nod guy, are you? I'm just going to smile and nod. I don't know what the hell he's saying.
Matthew seems like a smile and nod and then drop insane knowledge on you afterwards.
I met Matthew about 2 months ago, and he was actually very quiet when we were in the group chats, and I just spoke out to Matthew, and I'm like, man, something about Matthew, I'm like, man, I think we would be a good team. Like, he didn't say much, but I just felt like we could work together. I didn't know exactly, like, I knew a little bit what he did, but then when we started working together, we had all these cool ideas, and that we're working on now. We're actually working on them. So it's kind of cool. Like, I always find the quieter ones sometimes, like I was telling Cristiano, that there's a lot of talent in them. The people that don't speak the most, they're the hidden gems.
Sorry, I guess I'm going to rewind here. I didn't mean like a smile and nod guy. More of a shy, you know,
Matthew's not shy. Matthew's not shy. I don't think he's shy. He's just a good listener.
I'm just going to call myself a social turtle. Like, you know, I could be in my shell, but I could also be out my shell. You just got to let me know what's the mood.
Actually, Matthew is a pretty funny guy too. He's a comedian.
Oh, I know.
There's comedian in him, and there's like I heard he's a good singer. He hasn't sung in front of me yet, but I heard he's a really good singer.
Yes.
Very humble when he says that, but
Yes.
I've heard a lot of good things about that.
I have had the pleasure of hearing him. Yes, he is good.
Oh, really?
Yep.
I haven't even heard him yet. Matthew.
Whoa.
The fuck?
All of a sudden, we've started a.
He's like, I thought I knew you.
A battle. It's Jerry Springer live on Expert Advice.
Expert advice. We also do live paternity results.
Oh no!
You're an expert
That's
advice.
it.
We should. That would be a really
The
fun
Web3
bit.
Maury show.
You are not the father.
Where do I hand in my resignation?
Your resume?
Resignation. I'm not doing those shows.
Brad, you know there's no resigning. There's no resigning.
There's no
the only way out is a body bag,
I've
bro.
signed in blood.
Brad, the
I'm
only way
stuck
out of
with
this for you is
now.
horizontal, buddy.
Hell no! Oh hell no!
You didn't know what you signed up for? I'm gonna pay you. You're paying me for protection.
Pitching. I'm a pitcher.
You
That's
pay me
it.
to protect you.
Whatever. I'm the
From
older
me.
Italian here. Hey yo, wait. Hey yo.
You pay me to protect you from me. Capiche?
Yeah. I'm capiche. I'm breaking both of your legs. Capiche?
It would be tragic if something were to befall you.
Fuck.
Some heavy item were to fall off of a building onto your head. Bro.
Accidentally.
Accidentally.
Yeah.
Accidentally. So yeah, but like I'm just showing respect.
Oh, God.
That is some mafia shit. That's some, like Italian stuff. And I was raised with it, so I never had the option. You know how many times I got backhanded by my grandma for like trying to be funny?
Ooh,
A lot.
Ouch.
And I love her. And
my mom,
girlfriend's just like her. Same thing.
My mom chased me and my sister around with the wooden spoon.
That's what I was about to say.
It was controlled
No,
by
okay,
fear,
same
but
here.
Never
Same
actually
here.
hit us.
Brad, how old are you? Are you in your 40s?
43, yeah.
Yeah, okay,
I'm 35.
I guess. Yeah.
The
That's
wooden
heavy.
spoon with the
the fuck
sauce
does
still
that mean?
dripping off of it.
Well,
sauce
everybody in
still
their
dripping
40s, I'm sure, were chased with this wooden spoon, man.
Ooh, that thing
Yeah.
hurt,
Why,
man.
you in your 40s?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's
Yeah,
like,
I could relate.
the
Okay.
Hispanic culture, they have the chalata, the sandal.
Yeah.
Their mom would like whip the sandal up into their hand and just beat their ass with the sandal, with the flip flop. That was their version of it. For us, it was the wooden spoon. They got it.
Yeah.
Lucky. They had a freaking plastic flip flop. It's like, oh, cry me a river.
Oh, am I carpeting?
A wooden spoon is like, bro. So, like, I didn't have an option to learn respect, right? So that's why respect was not optional in my family. Right? Still to this day, like if I say anything out of line, my father will like get 10 times bigger. I'm like, how did you just grow like the Hulk? He's like a smaller dude and he just gets gigantic suddenly. And I'm
That's
suddenly,
part of
or I shrink
Italian
into a little boy.
metabolism.
I shrink into a little boy and he's just gigantic all of a sudden. Your
Yeah.
dad gets really big on you.
Yeah. But I was going to say, I have a buddy, Lebanese buddy, and his mom was like a gunslinger with the slippers, man. Like she could arch
she
that
could hit him.
shit around a corner.
Yeah, like
a
across the
90-degree
room.
fucking turn
Like a ricochet.
and hit him. I've seen
Jesus.
it. I shit you not. I've fucking seen it.
My friend
hit
Rudy used to
guy
do
around the
those.
corner. And it came back. It boomeranged
And it
back
came back.
somehow.
It's a
Yeah, no joke.
boomerang sandal.
Boomerang sandal. No joke.
I believe you.
That's funny. That is funny.
That's who I want on my side on the superhero team.
Okay,
I just
the
wanted,
boomerang
like,
part
an
is
old Hispanic
not
woman.
Not possible.
Yeah, like an
But
abuela.
around the corner, nailed him. That shit is for real.
Dude, that's a great show. Okay, Brad, this is being recorded. You heard it here first. PM, stay tuned. Super abuela.
And
Bro,
from the
and
Middle
she's
East.
just
She's from
nice
the
with
Middle
that
East,
sandal.
though. She's from
She's
the
just
Middle
nice
East.
with it. Dude, she's taking out like helicopters. Like the sandal.
But I'm serious, man. I am not joking. Around the fucking corner.
Oh, I believe you.
I've never seen anything since like that. I'm like, how is that even fucking like physics? Like there's no way.
Practice makes perfect, man. Come on.
Way.
Practice makes perfect.
I'm
It's
like, even
super
like throwing
abuela.
cards, throwing cards, like a deck of cards, throwing cards, you can like, and make them do all sorts of shit. Yeah, you can't even do that with a fucking card. Like, how did she do it with a slipper?
Brad, and she only curses. The character only curses. It's like it's super abuela, and she lands and she's like, "Mother chingada, mother flaphorn," just like
we were really beyond.
And
Like
that's
we're
fucking
East
funny.
Indians.
I'm gonna
Our
see if I
family.
can get her on the show. I'm gonna see.
The
She's
funny thing is,
as fuck.
Like my mom would cuss and swear. Like I learned all the swears from my mom when I was a kid.
No. If anybody swears on here, I guarantee you, no matter where you are in the world, there will be a slipper at some point in time that hits you in the back of the head.
Headed
If
towards
you
your
swear in the space that she's in. Like it might take a week to get there, but she will launch that fucking thing and she will hit you with it. And you'll be
It'll
like,
get there by
what the
next
fuck
week.
where did that come from? And you'll be like, oh, it came from Canada. Yeah, no joke.
Threw that shit like a boomerang.
Yeah, but it
Gotta
doesn't
have a
come
whistle.
back. It doesn't come back. We're not
Brad,
breaking
she's
laws
like
of physics.
she's like Yondu from Guardians of the Galaxy. Like she can whistle.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, maybe it could
Yeah,
come back.
people.
Maybe we'll get her like ruby slivers.
Oh my god. Yes, it's like a.
What was
like
that character's name? What was that character's name?
Adamantium slipper.
Yondu.
That must have been named after a mother, I'm sure.
I don't know.
Dude, like an adamantium slipper that she's just throwing. And just cutting people's heads off.
I think we just created a new superhero.
No, I'm saying this show's gonna be amazing because I don't have like a really bloody show because I'm not into like that. But I would like to
make
see
her more
one.
like Spawn.
Yeah, like really bloody, and then it's like people's heads are coming off, and then it just comes back to her, and I'm thinking like Consuela from like Family Guy. It's like, no,
Just no, bad.
no, and it's just like, and it just walks away. It's just like cut everyone's heads off, just like curse.
Oh my god, we still have to make this.
Right, like the first teaser. This is gonna be the first episode. I'll draw the storyboards like tomorrow. Like there's a bank robbery, right? And the bank robbers are just like cursing up like a storm, you know. And then suddenly the fucking Chilada just comes and starts decapitating them and cutting off limbs. You're like, what?
Yeah, be like a fluffy slipper with like spikes on it.
And then it flies back and it whistles and it flies back and it's like impaled in someone's head and she just, and she whistles and it flies back into her hand and she catches it and then we pan out.
Oh my god!
Super abuela.
Fucking god! Yeah, we should pitch this to Marvel.
Bro. They are looking for representation. There are no old Hispanic lady superheroes, even in the lexicon.
Oh my god!
And Salma Hayek don't count.
I bet actually, you know what? I bet you DC would pick it up.
Yeah,
DC
Salma Hayek doesn't count. Salma Hayek was hot AF in that movie. That didn't count.
God.
She was not old. She was supposed to be like the old Hispanic mother, and I was like, that's Salma Hayek. You better watch your mouth. She's still young to me. Salma Hayek is still like, you know, Naomi Watts. My crushes never aged. So like all my crushes are still 90s. Like all the actresses who were hot in the 90s are still my crushes. But
Bullock, Sandra Bullock.
Yeah. Michelle Pfeiffer?
Yeah.
Michelle Pfeiffer's. What about Michelle Pfeiffer's though? Michelle Pfeiffer.
Michelle Pfeiffer. Yeah, I had a crush on her when we in the 90s.
Cindy Crawford.
Like last week.
Cindy Crawford.
Cindy Crawford. Yeah.
She was.
That's what I'm saying. All these beauties, they stayed.
Catherine Zeta-Jones crush too.
My biggest crush was Naomi Watts.
Really?
I told my girlfriend, I was like, if we run into Naomi Watts, and I know she's older now, but like I don't care. She's such a good actress that I'm just like, did you see the movie with the
want to have sex with
Indonesia and the wave and the my god, the Impossible?
Guys,
did you see that movie?
Me up here.
Did you guys ever? Did anyone here see The Impossible?
The Impossible?
No.
It's about the Indonesian tsunami.
The Incredibles.
Dude, it is insanity.
Oh yeah, we did see that. Isn't that with
The Impossible?
and McGregor?
Naomi Watts and Liev Schreiber and those two. And dude, Tom Holland. That's what Tom Holland's movie that he started in. I didn't even know that.
Oh, okay.
Baby Tom Holland.
Talking about now, but no, I have not seen it.
Yeah, it's incredible, and it's like it makes sense that I didn't
know
who
I'm
that
sweating.
kid was.
Fuck. I am sweating the fucking slipper lady thing. Oh my god.
You need a better name than Super Abuela, but
no, that's perfect.
Super Abuela.
Yeah, man.
Honestly, like I just picture her like walking up to like a shooting range. You know, everyone's got out like the
AK-47s
and she just pulls out her little chancla.
Yeah, it's like because everyone else like talks around her. She barely talks. She's like an assassin. You make her like Jason Statham, you know.
And
she barely
like
says
Rambo,
anything.
like when Rambo restuds his arrows to put the different thing. Yeah, she's restudding her slippers.
She's the best.
Like different effects.
She doesn't talk much.
Oh fuck.
Yeah. So she doesn't talk much, huh? Trust me. When the shit goes down, she won't need you.
Oh my god. Okay. I need a glass of water.
And the
Hold on.
chancla gets
Fuck.
flying.
Where the
she
fuck
won't eat
did
the
this
top.
conversation come, man? Holy shit, this is funny.
Yeah, I know,
This is
but
how-
because
this is
I've
how
been fucking
Kevin
up
Smith
spaces.
wrote,
That's my job. I just come in and I fuck up spaces.
Brad, this is how Kevin Smith wrote like 3 movies. What's happening, Jeremy? We were doing expert advice, and now we just literally freestyled a movie idea called Super Abuela, or a cartoon show idea, and she's just an old Hispanic woman who just kills people with a adamantium chancla that she can throw, and she whistles.
Then there's got to
down
be
to
an East Indian villain with a wooden spoon, right?
Yes. Yeah, no, her villain, the villain is like her nemesis is an old Italian woman with a wooden spoon. And they can duel and do battle, you know? And that's like that's Super Nona. That's like Evil Nona. So there's like Super Abuela and then Evil Nona.
My mom could do the voice. My mom could do
Of
that
the
voice.
Evil
with
Nona?
the lady with wooden spoon. With the wooden
you
spoon.
son of a
Yeah.
bitch.
There's got to be a villain with a belt too, right?
Yeah, like Nona runs yes, that's the dad, right? That's the dad character. That's his angry dad. Could he be another superhero? He teams up with Super Abuela. It's just angry dad. That's
And
his
the
name.
one with
Angry
the
Dad.
slap. There's got to be one with the bare hand too, right?
Just angry dad, and he just has the power of belt. He just pulls the belt out. He just whip you with the belt.
From Pootie Tang.
Yeah, exactly, like Pootie Tang style. It's like, have no fear, angry dad is here. Why didn't you clean your goddamn room? He's just slapping you with the belt. And you're like, who are you?
Okay, you have to do an animation on that now, Cristiano. We're holding you to that.
I think this would be really funny. It's like all the what's the authority figures, and then we could like do a play on authority. You know, like call them like the Authority League or something. Like, you know, but it's like all the authority figures in your life, and they're one super group. And like, oh my god, dude, you could have Tiger Mom. Tiger Mom would be the best fucking character. Tiger Mom would fuck shit up, and she would know tiger style, and have tiger powers, and transforms into an actual tiger. But then she's a Tiger Mom. Oh my god, this is a brilliant idea, guys. We're doing it. You can represent every culture because every culture has an overbearing parent. You know.
Oh my god.
You could have like the Jewish mom who just guilts people to death.
We went from expert advice to like panel of a show.
Brad, the Jewish mother guilts people to death. Oh no! Don't even mention me.
Wait,
I'm not.
Your grandmother should play that one.
Yeah, they're like, oh, the guilt. It's too much. You should play that, Brad. You guilt me. Yeah, you're my.
I'm good. No, I'm good at that. I could definitely. But it's got to be a woman's voice.
Yeah, a strong Jewish woman's voice. I'll just do Linda Richmond.
I'll work on it.
I'm your host, Linda Richmond.
Oh, can I do coffee talk?
Coffee talk. Yeah,
I could do Mike Myers coffee talk.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Linda Richmond.
I can do that. Okay. Cool. I'm in.
I'll give you a topic. Beach nuts are neither a beach nor a nut.
Holy fuck!
I think doing coffee talk would be fun, bro.
555.
Also, I opened up the booking to the show, and like we're booked till July. By the way,
what you got a bookie?
Brad, we're booked till July, so
really?
You're not gonna be missing shows anytime soon, buddy.
No, it's okay. No,
like, what did I get myself into? No, I'm just saying I opened it up, and then we're like fucking suddenly booked up. So I'm like, okay, cool. So because remember how like awesome yesterday was because we got to actually like just go on the rails.
We retweeted out that booking thing once, and that's it. We're booked.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. So like that's good. So that's good. I should probably take it off, like not do the shows during NFT NYC, but maybe.
Do you have any links on your animation, Cristiano?
Take down the thing.
Yeah, you can. Oh, I can take those days off. Yeah, dude, you can check out. If you go to my profile, the top thing pinned, that's Jesus Danger Christ, and then also it says like CEO of Stay Tuned. And Stay Tuned, it's mostly retweets right now of my other stuff, but.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to tell you yesterday in Spatial. You know, people can download the clip.
What clip?
Take it. I downloaded the clip from Spatial. Now I have it myself on my phone.
What clip?
Yeah.
You bastard.
No, I know, but you got to protect the thing from.
Do you have a YouTube? You have a YouTube site, right?
Yes. If you go to our YouTube, you can go to Christiano.tv, and that'll take you there. That's like a faster one.
Check it out.
Yeah, because if you just type in Christiano.tv, that's like the URL, and that'll just jump you right there. And then yeah, dude, like on there, I have a ton of the stuff that I've directed. I mean, I've been directing like live action comedy forever, so like most of it's that. And then there's the animated ones that are out is Frankie the Snowman, which is like a claymation animation. He's an Italian American snowman who's like in the Bronx, and he's like, you little bastards, get out of here. Like the kids are like, Frankie, like, tell us a story. He's like, shut up, you little bastards. So like he's a snowman, but he's like grumpy, and he is the reincarnation of like Frankie Vale, who was one of Al Capone's dudes. And so basically, like, he dies in this fedora, and then the kids put the fedora on the snowman, and then the soul of the notorious gangster like inhabits the snowman. So now he's just this gangster snowman.
Who's the dude?
Frankie Vale.
The person, not the snowman guy. Who's the guy in the
That's
video?
G-Fella. So that's one of my best friends. I've been shooting music videos for him for 10 years.
He's fucking funny. He's good.
He's so funny. He had a show on Fuse. I've shot 15 music videos for him. I shot a feature film for him where we tied like 10 of his music videos together into a feature film. It was dope. And we did that in 2009, bro. So we were like years, and like he's light years ahead. He's brilliant. And he just was like doing it, and just, I don't know. He got a show.
Is his music like funny stuff, or is it like?
Yeah, it's like comedy Italian. Some of it's serious, but he has like ridiculous flow, and like a lot of it's like serious. But like he is a he's a gangster, bro. He's not like actually like mobbed up, but like we don't know.
Could you share your link on the site, like, or on this space, so I can link it?
Yeah,
I'll save it.
Let me see if I can if I have Christiano.tv. I'll share, because the thing is, you can't share you know what? I can make a separate tweet just linking out. Yeah, I'll do that. Brad, why don't you talk while I do that? Tell us a little bit more about how things are going for you, Bradley. Way to go, Brad. So
Sorry, I was it's like perfect timing.
I know.
Like, okay, I gotta put the whole
He's
world in
waiting
my
for
hands for a second, and then you're like, hey, and over to you, Brad.
Now to
For
Brad.
fuck's sakes, I'm trying to take a hoser here.
You see the code before my name? Co-host means I get to walk away from the mic whenever I want. It's not my responsibility.
Just code.
Co-host.
Megamind. Code.
Code host.
Code is code. What's the code?
What's the code? But yeah, I'll pin that in a second. But yeah, Brad, like we were talking about like respect, and just I was quoting your quote before about, respect is automatic, but trust is earned, right?
Nice.
So do you want to elaborate for these fine gentlemen about that?
Absolutely, for sure. Well, where this came from, and I work for the Department of National Defense during the day, just not right now. I'm currently fighting human rights issues with it. However, in dealing with a lot of military and whatnot, I've heard different sides of this slogan, if you will, or saying, which is some people believe respect is given and trust is earned, which I'm on that side. And then there's others, which I think is batshit crazy, where respect is earned and trust is given. And so I always come back to those people and say, so what you're saying is you first meet a person and you just trust them, but you don't respect them. That in itself doesn't make sense. And then second of all, there are degrees of trust. Like, and I said to Christiano, I said, I respect and I treat the Queen of England and a homeless person in the same manner. They're human beings. They deserve respect, right? But when it comes to trust, there's degrees of trust. If the Queen of England asked to borrow my car, sure, no problem. But if the homeless guy asked to borrow my car, not today. You know what I mean? So if you use that as your analogy and your understanding of those concepts, then why on God's green earth would anybody just give trust and not respect? Make sense?
That's a good analogy.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
I mean, it makes total sense.
Back to you, Chris.
What's that?
Back to you, Chris.
Thank you. It does make total sense, and when he said that, it helped me kind of like calm down, because it's like I get frustrated when people are like that, and then he reminded me that like there are some people who are like that, and I'm like, okay, but that's fucking crazy, right? And he's like, no, that's insane. I'm like, all right, cool. So sometimes it also helps to have like like sanity around you, and there's certain times where like and this is expert advice for everyone, like, yes, we should be patient with people with mental disorders and mental illnesses and everything like that. However, there are many people out there who are, because a lot of times that is codependent with great art, right, and great work. But there are many people out there who are mentally healthy, who are also do amazing work, and maybe used to be mentally not well and have done the work to be mentally healthy, to be able to be a reliable part of your team. You know what I mean? So that's why I was saying, like, also expert advice for anyone listening is like, just because someone is art's amazing doesn't mean that you need to put up with any kind of behavior that you wouldn't put up with if their art sucked, right? So it's like that shouldn't buy anyone a free pass to be a psycho, to be an asshole, because if enough people treat that person like that, then the person gets spoiled, and then you end up creating a problem, a monster, right? Who just won't stop.
Yeah,
like, who just is like, I've been told it's always okay. No one's ever said it's not a problem. I've worked with all these people, and it's like, well, all these people were cowards, and I'm the first one who's going to stand up and say that you're fucking impossible to work with, right? And so, like, you got to be that person sometimes, and because it's like that's going to be the best conversation to ever have. My instructors pulled me aside in film school, and I was directing one of our films in film school, and they were like, "We're getting complaints about you," and I was like, "Yeah, but this person's playing like this, and they're not," and they were like, "Listen, we'll give you a little pro tip for the rest of your life. If everyone else says you're the asshole, and you think everyone else is the asshole, but everyone else thinks you're the asshole, you're the asshole." And I was like,
Yep.
"Oh."
Just like when you don't know who the smartest guy in the room is, it's probably you.
If you can't find the smartest guy in the room.
Yeah. And
I
if
never
that
heard that.
scares
That's so
you,
funny.
you just, you walk away.
What if you think you're the asshole, like myself is the asshole, and everyone doesn't?
Then you have self-esteem problems.
Usually
I have a friend like that
will
too. He has self-esteem
self-identify.
issues. Yeah.
Usually assholes will self-identify.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you're assuming you're the asshole, you're not the asshole. You just have self-esteem issues, and you're an amazing person who's like, like delicate about, like, am I the asshole? Like, you're actually an awesome person who's trying not to be an asshole. We need more people like you, and you got to work on your self-esteem, because, like, that's who should be at the forefront of the world, is people like that, like, who are just like, hey, am I being an asshole right now? No, you're good, bro. Okay,
You know what?
you go tell me if I am, right? Yes.
That's fantastic. And remember I said about George Carlin, right?
Yes.
He should have been fucking New World Order Prime Minister,
Legend.
President, whatever, right?
Legend.
But how many people thought he was an asshole?
Yeah.
All he was doing was telling the truth in a way that was comical, but it was still fucking based on facts, factual facts.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
I have a lot of confrontations with certain people in my family because I speak the truth. I don't take bullshit. I'll just say it as I see it, and people don't like that.
No, they do not. People like to feel important. Like I said, people like to feel important.
they're
Like to
not
feel
ready
right.
to be
Like to
unplugged.
feel safe and validated. When you challenge someone's paradigm, the way they see the world, you create a thing called cognitive bias that's going to be like a physical response. It's nothing to do with whether or not they want it to be like that. It's just they're going to have a physiological, like, recoil where it's like, no, they can't be. That doesn't fit with how I see the world. And, like, intelligent people are just people who are patient enough to, like, wait past that and go, okay, cognitive bias is kicking in. I think this person's full of shit. Let me keep listening. Right. So I think that's why the listening is so important too. And, like, when I got started on Spaces, I just came into rooms and I would be like, I want a certain question answered. I would come up and I would ask a question, and then I would sit back and fucking listen. Just let them go off on 3 hours. I would ask a very leading open question, like, what is the future of Web3? And just fucking sit and listen, like a positive troll, like a troll that, like, wants to keep them, like, on topic,
Cool.
and then, yeah, just listening. It's, like, super, super, super important. And that's going to help you connect all those freaking all the weird disparate things we're doing, I guess.
That being said, I'd like to acknowledge Luke the Leo on stage.
Yeah, we got to play some of his music.
Hey, Christian.
Yeah.
Thank you.
What's happening?
You did that cartoon animation or that clay animation?
Yeah.
That's pretty dope, man.
Isn't that crazy? So the crazy thing about it is I didn't do a single, like, frame of stop motion, which is awesome. So I'll tell you how good right now.
I think Matthew and I want to talk to you.
Oh, dude, of course. I'm the whole reason I came into the Web3 world too was I was just like, I don't want my old Web2 clients. Like, I have, like, big ad agencies and stuff like that. I was an ad agency. I worked with big brands and other agencies and stuff. And, like, that work is so time consuming. It's so exhausting, and it's, like, not fulfilling. You know what I mean? So I would so much rather work with, like, independent.
You're gonna collab yourself to death.
How long?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I'd much rather collab myself to death with a bunch of cool Web3 people versus doing that for, like, 5 brands. Because I've always had 6 clients at the same time. So that's not anything new for me. That's always been my thing. Yeah.
But roughly, how long did it take to do something like that? What you did?
So that's what's crazy about that is I didn't even do any stop motion on that. So basically, the way I did that was basically I took the pictures of the model. He sits there at my front door, Frankie the Snowman. So he's real. And I took a bunch of pictures of him. I took his jaw, he opened his mouth and did his mouth in a bunch of different mouth shapes, right? His arms in different poses and stuff like that. Like in the T pose, his arms up, his arms down. And then I did all the same thing with him rotated, a quarter degree, rotated 3/4 one way, rotated 3/4 the other way, the back of his head. So I did basically all these pictures of him in a circle. And then I went in Photoshop and composited all those pictures into basically like layers for him to be a puppet. So now like the head was separated, so everything else was erased, right? So I just went in and created this claymation image, right, of this puppet. So the cool thing is about it is like the way persistence of vision works, which is how animation works, right? You only need 24 frames, and then your brain just puts everything else between that. So if I jump from a shot of him facing, to the right, and then I go to the shot of him facing forward and the shot of him facing left, it's going to look like he's turning, right? So it's the same concepts as stop motion, but I basically put it together in Photoshop, bring it into this program called Adobe Character Animator, which is super cool, which I've been working with them for like 4 years. I've been a beta tester, helping them just get the thing on its feet and just breaking it and constantly breaking it and fixing it. And I just like give them advice and stuff. And then I'm just constantly like pushing the technology to its limits and being like, okay, it breaks when you do this. And they're like, got it, cool. So, but the thing has gotten so amazing that now you can webcam. It uses your webcam to track your motion. And then basically at first it was just face, and you could just rig your character to like talk with you and like move its head around and do whatever you want. And then you still have to do the hands with like like handles, like you would hold its wrists and move the person around, right?
Brilliant.
You can make a skeleton on any character. You can make a skeleton on them. And so it does all the rigging for you and everything. It's super cool. So now it does body tracking. So you can literally, like when I did Frankie the Snowman, he's dancing. Like that's just me. It was webcamming me just like dancing and swaying back and forth, and he's just tracking. And so I just record that at like half speed, so it's like a little bit cartoony and sped up, or like 75% speed, and then do some fine touches and like some tweaking of the animation. You can go in and change anything after you record it. It's just like the recording capture, and which is how they make like avatars, how they made Smeagol. This is how it's just a 2D version of that. Right. So I've just been looking for that forever, and I finally found it 4 years ago. That you can like literally do Lord of the Rings or Smeagol like motion capture, but for a 2D character.
That's cool.
And so that enables us to get stuff done really fast. So if you needed like after setup, if you needed to spin out something with Frankie tomorrow, I could get it done like this because he's a full character. But the setup took a long time. You know what I mean? But once it's set up, you're done.
Can we take a second though and let's bring the conversation back to our special guest and our new speaker that we have up here, just so we get everybody involved in the room, right? And Jeremy, shout out to Jeremy who's joined us from
Jeremy?
Medship. Thanks.
Can I acknowledge Jeremy really quick?
Your support, bud. Appreciate that.
Brad.
Yeah, and Jack Frost too. What?
I wanted to acknowledge Jeremy really quick before you move on. Jeremy, like I was just thinking about today and just like how I kind of felt bad for being like a bossy co-host, a bossy host sometimes, or like kicking people down or whatever. And I was just like, whenever I feel bad about it, I just think about how Jeremy does it so tastefully and unabashed. Like he's just like, he's like respectfully. Like you kick someone off the stage with respect.
Yeah,
really
he's dubbed himself the Twitter's human punching bag because he can take anything.
Yeah, but he's just so good at that. He's
tough as nails, but sometimes it's just people just go too far and you just got to walk away from it.
But he handles it so respectfully. He's like,
he's
listener.
He's fucking golden.
You're going to sit and listener, and now you're going to think about what you did. And when you fucking can learn how to respect your host, you're going to come back up, and then we're going to give you another shot because that's how it is. And it's just like, it's very respectful, very sane, you know what I mean? And it's like very alpha as well. And it's like this space needs more of that kind of energy where it's like, it's not the Wild Wild West. Like you need sheriffs to come in and be like, hey, motherfucker, you're acting like a sociopath. And we can't have a community if you're here being a sociopath. So just sit down there and wait.
Like if Jeremy was hosting a space and I would go into a space and try to, take it over like I normally do. Yeah, no, I would just move on from that one.
You would like, I'm not getting.
He would just be like, I'm not even going to bother putting you as a listener. Eject! Yeah, that would be it. But no, but he's right. Like, how he does it is fucking perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah, give everybody a second chance, right?
Yeah, you the goat, Jeremy.
Yeah.
You the goat,
I'm not getting that saying. Can we talk about that for a second? Hey, and then Leo.
Our alien is here as well, Brad.
Our alien
special alien guest.
Jack Frost?
We have an alien DJ from outer space who has decided to come on our stream and join us, which is very awesome.
Yes. But I want to talk about this saying here, goat. Now, Leo, if you wouldn't mind, what is your definition or interpretation of this goat phrase that everyone's using?
What's up, y'all? Talking about
Yeah.
like greatest of all time.
What's
Talking
that?
about that. You talking about like greatest of all time, or this is another type
Yeah.
of goat? Oh, mm, I don't know, cause I don't know. My
But
mind
like,
don't really take that too far. I guess if that makes them feel good and it gets the job done, call yourself the goat. I guess.
but yeah, but like, I don't know. When I hear it, I'm not thinking greatest of all time. I'm thinking a fucking goat. Like, bah. You know what I mean?
When I hear people use it, I think it's great at this moment. In this moment, while you're
Yes.
saying go to people paying
Oh, is it
attention,
like
you're
that?
great in
Not
that
greatest of
moment.
all time, greatest at the moment. Oh, see, that's good. I
You should
haven't
call
heard
it
that
got
before.
him. Greatest at the moment. No, it's got him.
What?
Got him.
Got him?
Greatest GATM. Greatest at the moment. It's
Well,
got
you
him.
can have a the and not, or an and even, and not have it
If
part
you
of the
can.
acronym.
We could
Yeah.
do greatest of that time. Just got. I mean, Brad, if that logic checked out, you wouldn't do the O in the of, so it would just be GAT, greatest all time, greatest of all time, but the of wouldn't get it. Like ofs don't get
I'm
their
not
own
the one
initial
that
in
made
acronym.
up the acronym. I'm just saying it. You can have it like
Okay, so
Department
we
of
don't like the
National
acronym. The
Defense.
acronym's not even sound. It's not
It's
even a real
DND. It's
acronym,
not DOND.
and it
Then
makes you
we'd be
think of
done.
goats.
We'd be done. We got the army of done.
But I like the term, but I think we're overusing it.
Yeah, I know. I'm not liking the acronym. That's all. I just wanted to see if it was me or if it was,
I don't like that it's replaced homie.
that
It used to
think
be you the
it's
homie.
really.
You know? Yeah.
That's the equivalent for you?
You
Yeah.
said it replaced what?
Homie.
Homie.
Like you the homie.
I don't
Like
think
it's
I've
like you're the
ever even
best. Like you're
used
the
it like
shit.
that. You the
I would
home.
say it replaced you rock for me.
Yeah, you rock.
I
Okay.
used to say you rock, and now I say you're the goat.
Yeah, I'm not liking the goat.
You're not liking the goat, Brad?
No.
I'm worried about the beaver, Brad.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, dude, like NS5, I would love to chat with you guys more about animation and you know, we don't have to do it now, but like in general, because like I don't know, did I pin that up? That work? Oh no, I'll pin it up now.
There's one anyway.
I pinned up the YouTube channel, and then I'll also pin up a little like we did like a what is Stay Tuned, and it's a little like a newsreel from the 50s being like
Ooh.
it's really funny. It's me doing like the entertainment of the future. Really good. It's like interactive television with this special YouTube. It's pretty funny. Like it gets a laugh every time anyone.
Were you there when Ruben did his Troy McClure?
Dude, yeah, he's played it for me a couple times. It's so good. It's like it's on a digital ledger.
I never holy shit, that was funny.
Dude, Ruben's so funny. I want to sit with Ruben and be like, what does your animated show inside of your head look like?
Oh.
Did you know there is one? You know that he has a cartoon inside of him. I'm gonna be like, let me get that cartoon inside of you.
Yeah.
Outside of you.
I'm working on a scheduled call with him. I got his number now, but haven't had the time to
Dude,
call.
just jump on the once a week calls for Music Patch, and then you can just like
No,
see him.
I just want to talk to
No,
him.
I'm saying, and then you can be like, hey, let's go. Come on, talk after the call, and you can just like.
No, I don't want to have anybody else there.
After the call. I'm saying you can hijack him and pull him away.
think,
I'm just trying to trick you to get onto the Music Patch.
Yeah,
call.
I know what you're doing.
Anyway.
I know what you're doing. No. You can continue to ride the coattails.
You should continue. You should be on that. You should be
I think
on
if
the
anyone's riding coattails, I'm riding yours, I think, on this point.
No, we ride each other's coattails. That's why we're going in fucking circles in our
Or
career,
there's
bro.
that too. This is true too. This is true. Yeah. Our circle just keeps expanding.
You're just doing a big old circle jerk over here.
Yeah.
A couple jerks just running in a
Why
circle.
do we gotta go that far with it?
We're jerks running in a circle. It's a circle jerk. Isn't that what it means?
Okay. Yes, I see what you're saying.
Wait, what did you think? What is your meaning?
Nothing. I was thinking the same thing you were thinking.
Okay, good.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Because we got to start cleaning the show up if we're ever going to...
Right.
We're ever going to get Colgate as a sponsor.
I wasn't insinuating anything.
See what I did there? Colgate? Because it's clean
Colgate. Oh, yeah. Remember the 4 to 5 dentist thing?
Trident?
should
Well,
get
dude,
jump on
Trident's
that.
like my client. They're like my OG client. So like,
We gotta find who's the fifth dentist that
Kill
said
'em.
nope, fuck it.
if I pitched that to them, I think they would still do it. I don't know the people who are still. Well, I know the dude who's running the whole thing, but like, if I pitched that to them and was like, "Here's the pitch," and it's like us like kidnapping like this person, and we pull the hood off his head, and you're like, "Why didn't you recommend Trident?" Like,
Yeah, right.
it's this whole big elaborate kidnapping, and then it's just you pull the head. You know, it's like us getting into his house and everything, pulling him out of his bed.
Yeah.
His wife is screaming. You know, we like blow dart his wife.
Oh, and in the end, it's like it's a dentist who's highly addictive to Trident and can't
He's like, "They paid me off."
stuff. He's got a big wad
he's
of
just like, "They paid me off."
Trident gum in his mouth.
He was paid off by fucking what's their competitor? Orbitz?
Oh,
yeah, Orbitz, right? That's the big
Hubba
Americans.
Bubba.
Yeah, I was about to say, yeah. He was paid off by Bubblicious. Bubblicious Corporation. They're tired. They're tired of getting boxed out.
Oh my god. Oh
God.
my god. Yeah, this big
Poor guy.
bubblegum conspiracy thing.
They go.
Spearmint, the Doublemint twins.
Brad,
You
they
get
go.
the Doublemint twins.
They go.
in
So you
there.
think it's okay for only 4 out of 5 dentists to recommend Trident, huh? Well, I guess you'd be also fine with only having 4 out of 5 fingers. And then they grab the pliers and snip the index. They're like, doesn't feel great, does it? And then I send that to Trident, and then they're like, Christiano, you need mental health. How are you doing?
I just be like staring at the ceiling as you're pitching it.
Brad's like, I wasn't part of this one. It's like the whole thing says by
but
Brad.
It was my
Music
idea
NFTs.
to start with you, and you just ran with it, and
I only put your name on it. Yeah, and the thing ends, and it goes created, written, and directed by Brad Music NFTs.
Right on.
And I just created and put your name on it.
Oh yeah, that's why it bombed. That's why it bombed. Yeah.
And then I walk out of the room while it's playing.
Gotcha.
I walk out of the room while it's playing, and then like the lights come up,
and
it's
I'm
just
still
you standing there by
there
yourself.
staring at the ceiling.
They're like, yeah.
Right on.
Do you want to
That's
explain
fucking
yourself,
awesome.
Brad?
We should just do that. That would be
Just
fucking
do that.
funny.
Dude, that's how I got the job. I did a job for them where I got paid in 250,000 packs of Trident layers. I'm not lying because there's like news articles about it. I pitched it to the dude. I was like, yo, you want to like pay us some gum? And then I was like, how much? It was like $250,000. I was like, yeah, that sounds good. $250,000 fucking packs of gum.
And they're like, we didn't say dollars, motherfucker.
Yeah. That was the whole thing. And I made a whole joke about it. It was like yeah, so we didn't read the contract. And like we shot a whole film. I'll put it out one day. We never put it out. It was like a short film about getting paid in layers.
Oh,
Yeah.
fuck.
And then like the whole thing was like none of the contractors that we hire will like so apparently it was shot like The Office. I was like, so apparently like we thought this was a good idea, but none of our vendors will be paid in gum. So we can't run our company.
Oh my god! Years ago, I came up with a similar thing. I would always say doll hairs. It's people but you say it really fast. Like we'll get you 500. We'll get you $500,000 hair, like doll hairs, $500,000, right? And so they just think in dollars. Yeah, but then you show up with a bag of doll hairs, like Barbie doll hairs, right? And you're like, here you go.
And then they come to your house and murder you. Right?
Potentially.
In Minecraft. In the metaverse.
In the metaverse. Yeah. Allegedly.
I'm posting this, stay tuned, watch this handy guide so you guys can see the little video I was talking about as well. Why does YouTube, YouTube, like sometimes, does this ever happen? Do you guys ever post YouTube clips on Twitter?
Yeah, I did the Hot Crazy Matrix.
It
was fun.
If you're
posting like other links and ads first, then it won't show the picture of the link. So,
but it'll
put
still
the YouTube first and then put the other shit later.
But it'll still like when you post, it'll still like show the link thing.
It will if it's the first link that you have in your tweet.
Yeah, it's like what is stay tuned.
Yeah, but if you don't, then people will actually have to click on the tweet before they will see the YouTube picture screen link.
That's really weird. Oh, so it has nothing to do with if it's youtube.com or youtube.be?
No, it like just don't have any kind of hashtag or @ before you put the YouTube link. Make sure the YouTube link is the first thing.
Oh, so no @ got it.
Yeah.
You're so smart, Bradley. I appreciate you. Thank you.
That's also expert advice. What
Mm,
Cristiano said. What Cristiano's not what I
that
said.
Brad's smart.
There you go.
I mean, it still is not showing up, but whatever.
What?
It's still not showing up, Brad.
Maybe not. Okay, hold on a second. So you're saying the YouTube link
I
in
think
your
it's the
tweet is the
YouTube.
first
Yeah.
thing in the tweet?
No. You know how like YouTube is like sometimes gives you youtube.com and sometimes gives you it's like youtube.be. You know what I'm talking
Yeah, it
about?
shouldn't matter. Yes. It shouldn't matter.
I know it shouldn't.
When you're on the
I agree, it
YouTube
shouldn't.
thing that you want, just click on the three dots, hit share, and then click the copy link from that, and then paste it into
Yeah,
the tweet. But just
you'd
make sure
think,
that
you'd
the
think,
link
Brad,
is
but
the first thing in there. I'll look at it. Did
no,
you tweet it out?
I know exactly what you're saying. Right, let's test it.
Did you
I
tweet
know
it out?
exactly what you're saying. I'm just saying I don't think that that's like a thing.
It's not working. You know what? Maybe it hasn't loaded when you
Yeah.
created it, but when you tweet it out, it'll show it the
All right.
way it should be shown.
Let's try it. Let's try it your way.
We shall see, good
Let's
sir.
try it your way, Brad. There we go. It worked. Bam. All right, I'm gonna pin that up so you guys can see it. It's pretty cool. But all through Matthew, I love your profile picture because it looks like you have a samurai sword in like the back of your, but it's like the Golden Gate Bridge.
Yeah, it came out
So
perfect, dude. You just click yeah. It shows
That's the first time I heard that, but I'm
Is
still
it
going
really?
with that.
Bro, the entire 24
Let's
hours I was
just call it a
tripping. I was like,
samurai
I got the
sword.
samurai with me. I got Samurai Matthew. He's just chilling here. We're gonna be okay. And then it's the Golden Gate Bridge, like the next day I saw it. I'm like, yeah, I'm tripping. So yeah, I just put that up there. That's like a little. What's the Sandy guy? It's a little animation we did. But like, dude, I would love to talk to you later because my main thing is like I don't want to work for these big brands and I want to sell my fucking my amazing things that I've worked really, really, really hard on making amazing. Like they weren't good when I started them, but now these shows are really good and I like them and I like watching them. And it's like I don't want to like sell them to someone. I don't want to see someone screw them up. It's like I worked really hard. I've been writing Jesus Danger Christ for 3 years. I've been writing most of these shows for 2 or 3 years. Like they'll be ready when they're ready because we're really making sure that we're doing a Pixar type thing. We have a whole methodology where, okay, expert advice. So Disney had 3 rooms in his Walt Disney, company. You might have heard of them. And so the 3 rooms, the company, not the rooms. So the 3 rooms were basically the first room, which was the brainstorming room. That was like idea generation, go nuts, go crazy, right? The second room was prototyping. That was like get the things that were the ideas, take the best ideas, and now make, like for them, it was going to be storyboards, right? Make storyboards of those scenes and the best stuff in the writing room, right? The third room was called the sweat box. And the third room was the most important room. And most people don't even have a third room. They avoid the third room at all costs. The third room is called the sweat box because it's where you tear the ideas apart and you just kill babies, basically. Not real babies, but you kill your darlings. And, the creative principle of killing your darlings. Everything that you loved, everything you were like, but that was my idea. And you just watch it get torn apart. And if it doesn't suit the story, if it doesn't suit the character development, it's gone, And then you go back to room 1 and you go figure out a way, it's gone. So we replace it with something back to room 1 and then room 2 and then room 3 and just keep going back through those rooms. And some people don't even have a room 3, like my girlfriend coming home drunk is my room 3. It's great because she's drunk and she doesn't hold back and she's Italian. She's like, that sucks. That's boring. I don't like this. And I'm like, bro, you're harsh. But like at first, but like I learned to love it and then I learned to embrace it. Now I learned to solicit it. And I want people to tear it. That's why I love Brad. Brad will tear apart my business plan. I'm like, thank you. Because now it's better, right? Like what service is anyone doing me by telling me it's great when it's not? That's why that's like a sycophant. Like you don't want a sycophant or like a yes man around you, right? Say yes, Brad. Brad, say yes. Good man. That's because Brad's a good friend right there. He's totally not away from his mic. He's just being a good friend and was totally listening and making a great point by not saying anything. But you know what I'm saying? Like that's like the most important part. And that's why like all of our shows are created with that in mind. And so it's like, I want to work with only creators who have that same mentality and who have that same, like, a bunch of CEOs, because like you guys own your own brands. You know what I mean? Like how many like NFT projects have launched and promised an animated show and don't have any idea how to do it. So I'm like, even there, like that could just be all my clients. Like all those people.
I don't know. I don't have to speak on behalf of Matthew, but I think Matthew and I totally think it'd be awesome to work with you guys.
Oh, dude, it's great vibes right away from you guys, and I would love to. I mean, Matthew's like, Brad just left. He was sad and he left. He probably got rugged. But like Matthew, I felt the same way about Matthew. Like you were saying, S5. Like as soon as I met him, I was like, yeah, no, this dude's chill and like dope, and that's why like, I don't know. That's why like I hit you up on this because I was like, yo, come and host, because I knew that I'm not going to be able to get a chance to like get you on the phone. So this is like me getting you on the phone publicly. This is like me calling Matthew back. This is my version of calling someone back.
So anytime we are pitching our ideas, we got to have a group. We got to get everybody else involved, I guess.
I mean, that's what it's going to end up being.
Everyone just
because
hops
we're all
in the
working
space.
together. You know what I mean? Like everyone's getting so interconnected at this point that it's going to be like everyone's in every call.
No, but honestly, Cristiano, you're honestly like Matthew is very talented in his own way. But when I see you here, you're talented in your own way, man.
Thank you.
Like
I appreciate that.
that was impressive. I like just the way you explained that, Frankie the Snowman. That was pretty cool, man. I was pretty impressed with that.
Thank you, man. Yeah, I mean, it's you're saying the technology behind it, or the
Yeah, like you said, it wasn't that big of a deal. Like you did, like you made it sound like you're pretty humble about it, but doing something little like that's pretty impressive. How you did that.
Yeah, and it's funny because like people see it as humility, and it's just honestly, it's the way I don't think I'm humble. I think I'm like braggadocious and arrogant, and I'm constantly trying to pull myself back. And like it comes off as humble because I genuinely always put technology on the pedestal. I'm like, we're standing on the shoulders of giants. You know what I mean? Like anything I do, I'm like, it's not me. I learned that from, my mentors or my, like, or Akira Kurosawa. He did this 50 years ago, and this is not new. So it's like knowing that nothing's new, and so just being like, I'm like a passenger, and I'm a Buddhist. So like, I consider myself a passenger in this whole thing, and I'm just excited to be like able to talk to really cool people every day. And so, like, that's why maybe hosting, like for me, like hosting a daily show where I get to talk to cool people every day is, like, genuinely a dream come true. Like, I did college radio, Like, this is what I've always, at some level, like, wanted to do, So thank you guys for, like, being someone who will come and talk to me and do this, because it's, like, otherwise I'm just a crazy person talking to myself in a room.
I carpeted myself, man.
It was perfect timing, though.
Yeah. Son of a...
Honestly, yeah, like you should have just ran with it, bro. Because like the moment you rug, Chris was like, "Yeah, and it's so important that we don't have people in our lives that are just yes man, right, Brad?" And like you were just silent the whole time, and I was like, "Wow, this man's just." So
and I go, "Brad, say yes," and then Brad didn't say anything.
Oh, that's good.
It's on the recording. I go, it's always important to just never keep yes men around, and to go, right, Brad?
And I'm not
Brad,
even. I'm gone.
say yes. Brad, say yes right now, and you're not saying anything. And I was like, good friend. That's a good man right there.
That's good. I like being the joke.
That's why
I like being the joke when I'm not even in the space.
That's what I'm saying, bro. You're naturally funny.
That's fine.
You're naturally funny.
Oh, thanks to carpeting.
You're funny. You're funniest when you're suddenly leaving the room or carpeting. I don't know what that says.
Or ejected out of the space. Everybody
funniest when you're not talking or leaving.
Too. Woo! All right, that's funny.
You gotta work on that. You gotta work on more leaving and more not talking.
Oh, okay. So get kicked out of a space for being silent.
I'll just start. Can I boot
that
my
should be a
co-host?
new challenge. Okay, I take this challenge.
I mean, like you missed the connection, but you still hit the punchline. So like that's a 10 out of 10 for me.
Man, I'm good. I'm good.
Can you boot co-hosts? You could.
Yeah, you could.
It'd be really funny is like an elimination game where someone has the host position and the two co-hosts, the people like battling or whatever, and then the person that's the host gets to decide who to like drop back down to like listener.
No, kick them out of space.
Kick them out of the space.
Yeah, just kick them out.
Block them. One of them gets blocked.
Just kick them out of the space.
That would be
You
a
can
crazy
bring them
space
back,
though.
by the way. Once you kick somebody out of the space, yes, they're blocked from the space, but you haven't like blocked them from your profile.
Oh, dude, I did it. It was difficult.
But
I
you
blocked
can't.
someone by accident. It was
No,
difficult
you
to get them
just
back.
okay. Here, Matthew.
Brad, I accidentally kicked Mr. September, and Gilad was like in my DMs, like trying to like troubleshoot it with me. I was like,
I will show you. Okay, somebody volunteer. Let me kick
no
space.
I don't want to do this.
Yeah.
This is expert advice.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Matthew.
Ooh.
Matthew. Okay, I will kick you out of space, and
He's
you'll
like,
be able
"Ooh,
to
kick
come
me."
back in on your own. Okay.
This was all part of his plan,
Just give
Matthew.
it.
He
just
got
give it a
jealous
few
that you were
seconds.
co-hosting.
Just give it a few seconds.
He goes, Matthew,
you will
just
be able
stand
to
at the
enter
end of
the
this
space
bridge,
Okay.
and
So
I'm gonna give you a
Matthew.
little push.
Oh wait,
totally
no.
fly.
Okay, no. Actually, it will not allow me to. No, I can't because he's a co-host. Wait, Matthew, put yourself as a speaker first. Put yourself
This
as
is all
a
part of his
speaker
plan,
or
Matthew.
a listener.
He's trying to eliminate you.
There's
He's trying to avoid the competition.
There's only one room for a co-host around.
There can only
There's
be one
enough space
Highlander.
for a co-host around here.
He's trying to kick you off the Golden Gate Bridge.
One of those. What's the line? I'm screwing that up.
I feel like I should have brought my samurai
There can only
sword
be
for this
one
I
Highlander.
feel like I'm setting myself up for failure now.
Yes, you should have
Can I
actually
give up my
brought
co-host spot.
Dude.
You're samurai.
Every time I see that Golden Gate Bridge now, I see the samurai sword. Thanks, guys.
Right? He's got a katana on his
Just
back.
put yourself as a speaker.
I'll do it. He's got a Golden Gate katana.
Dude, man, I wouldn't keep you kicked out of a space. Or would I?
Matthew, we're not going to talk about anything while you're gone.
Okay, no. Okay, look. Seriously, he would be able to come back all by himself.
Everyone hold your breath
So
till
I'm
Matthew comes
clicking
back.
remove him from the space. So here he goes.
You're breathing in.
There he goes. Now you click on the little Banami thingy and you slide the thing at the top and there's a thing that says,
That was not
speakers,
instructions.
listeners,
You said
removed.
you'd give us instructions.
Then there's the removed thing. Then there's the 3 dots and you click allow to join. And now he can join back in all by himself. Look, Ma, no hands.
How did you
come back?
How did you get to the thummy thingy? What's the thummy thingy?
Oh,
Matthew's not
this
back
is the
on.
magic
It's like
trick where
10 minutes.
shit, the bunny died in my hat. Damn it.
Matthew never shows up.
Yeah.
Killed the
Thanks.
bunny.
Thanks, Brad.
Wait, no, seriously, he should be able to come back any second now. Any second.
This is what happened to me.
Any second
10
now.
minutes later, he's still not showing up.
No. Seriously?
Brad's just held the kid's head under the water. He's like, he'll be fine. He can swim. It's floating.
No.
Kid's
way.
floating in the pool. And Brad's like, come on.
No.
Doggy paddle.
No. He's fine. He's coming back.
He's fine.
He's totally fine.
I drowned when I was little, too.
He's
I'm fine.
You guys.
Matthew, you're back.
See?
Matthew just popped up. He's like, I'm suing.
I didn't
Brad
do
just-
anything.
Brad just held your head under the water
No, I
over
did
here.
not. Now I'm inviting him back to speak. Son of a bitch. See? I told you.
I wish you could set priority of co-hosts.
Hallelujah.
It'd be so much fun. If we could just like decide like number 2, number 1,
Hey.
and then have 2 co-hosts battle for the best
Battle
spot.
to the death. So Matthew, are you okay? Are you unscathed?
I
How
mean,
are you feeling?
I only cried for like only 30 seconds, but like,
Like half of it.
Like the 10 seconds. But no, as soon as I did you have to click on the space like more than once to get back in or?
I had to restart my app because like I tried to rejoin right after and it was like this space is unavailable and I was like, well, I'm
Tell you.
No, it's because but you needed to give me a few seconds to click the buttons to allow you to come back in. It's not like friggin' lightning speed.
No, that's what happened with me. The dude had to restart his actual app.
Well, what difference does it
Like-
make? He's still able to get back in.
Yeah, but the Twitter's broken.
Okay, now this is my fault.
The app is broken, and they're listening to our spaces. So I'm trying to tell them they gotta fix that shit. They just watched it happen.
Okay, but people
Live. They just
are
fixed
under
it.
the impression though that once they eject somebody from the space that they can never ever come back in that space. But it's wrong.
Let's just keep that rumor
Just
going,
prove
okay?
this incorrect. As long as
Let's keep that rumor going. So when we eject people, they just never try to come back.
yeah, okay, whatever. I'm down, but I'm just saying.
We don't have to block them.
No, we're not blocking.
There should be like a better way to like block people from spaces and not
Yeah.
block them in general.
And by the way, Matt,
it's like Twitter Spaces timeout.
Matthew,
Yeah,
Christiano was holding your head underwater, and he's like, "Oh no, he'll be fine. He'll be fine."
Brad was
No,
looking
no,
at
no,
him
that's
all-
not
I
how
was
I
sitting
heard
there
it.
like,
That's not how
let
I
him
heard
up, he
it.
can't
No,
breathe.
no, no, no.
I'm screaming like, let him up, he can't breathe. And Brad's like, it builds character. And his fucking legs are kicking.
It'll put hair on his chest.
Yeah. This will put some hair in his pencil. It's like, why are you so concerned about his hair levels? Let him up. Doesn't matter if he's smooth.
Oh my gosh.
Let him up.
Let the record
My son needs to be hairy.
The recording will be reviewed.
Yeah, you can review the recording. And I was begging for him to let you up. And he was just like, no, he knows what he did.
Yeah, factual facts.
He was like, there can only be one co-host.
Factual facts.
Brad's like I said, I was going to be a little late. I didn't say I wanted to be replaced in general. And he's holding him. Yeah. Brad said this is the trick where the bunny doesn't come back. He makes the bunny appear.
The bunny died in the hat.
The bunny dies in the hat. Brad like puts it down and steps on it and you hear a squeak. Like, and he's like, oh, so to my next trick. Where's the bunny? He's like,
I got pigeons.
No,
I got pigeons. Hold on.
You turn the bunny into pigeons.
Yeah.
Had some
Or
pigeons.
doves. Whatever.
Bro, that's a funny idea for a sketch too. The magician just keeps killing all of his animals. He pushes the pigeons by.
Then we're on to hamsters and shit.
He borrows the family cat. Like, no, that's the mom's like, sees what's going on. She's like, no, and he's like, give me that cat. He's like, all right, I'm gonna sell the cat now.
Oh my god.
And then Brad, the sketch ends with the cops showing up, and they're like, yeah, this man has been wanted for murdering pets. He just comes to birthday parties and just kills your pets.
It's plastered all
You've been
over
looking for a
Chinatown.
sick bastard.
I'd be plastered all over Chinatown. I'm cleaning up the cats in Chinatown.
They're just like, this sick bastard. It's people like you, which is why I became a cop.
For the bunnies?
Scum like your way.
Holy fuck. Oh, fuck.
So I have a great show that we're working on too right now. It's going to be really, really funny. It's called Cops Defunded. And it's about the Portland Police Department. So this whole thing happened by Kismet. Dude, I walked into the Warner Brothers. So I buy all the props from Warner Brothers on auction, right? And so like I have like Ra's al Ghul's sword. I have a bunch of stuff from Green Arrow. Like, and it's like they're like $1. So it's like whatever. Like, you know, like if they get no bidding war, it's like $20. But so I get all this stuff for super cheap. I bought like 60, not joking, 60 Portland police officer uniforms in various sizes, short sleeve, long sleeve for like $200. And then I have 20 NYPD and like 5 LAPD. But like, so I was like, okay, so this is perfect. I already had this idea for the show. And so now it's about Portland and it's like Reno 911. But like, imagine if they had no money.
That's
and
cool.
we all have to like share a gun. And there's like social workers like coming into shootouts with a bulletproof vest. Being like, social worker, please put down the guns. It's about that. And it's like, in like parts of the city are taken over, you know, like it's like the meeting with like the Chaz, you know, like meeting with like the savages who have taken over lower downtown and they're like Mad Max beyond Thunderdome and they have the shoulder pads. Like, who runs Bartertown? Barry runs Bartertown.
As extreme as Mad Max, we got to take it there.
Yeah. So like there's like parts of Seattle, there's parts of Portland that are just like Mad Max right now. So like going there.
The Tina Turner Mad Max or
the Beyond Thunderdome. No, Beyond Thunderdome.
Yeah,
I was thinking, the second one.
Tina?
Yes, Tina. Who runs Bartertown?
Okay.
Master Blaster runs Bartertown. That one. But yeah, so that show is gonna be really funny, and I have a bunch of funny stand-up comedians and improv comedians who are playing the different cops and stuff. And so if anyone's listening wants to be part of that, hit me up. We're shooting in LA.
What do I chop
all summer.
Oh, you got to be there.
I mean, we could do satellite ones, but like it's kind of an improv game. It's like we don't tell, so the cops don't get to know what the bid is. They just know what the call is, right? So if I'm like playing one of the cops, I just know that it's like breaking and entering, but I don't know like what the person's gonna do, you know?
Right.
So it's just improv. So I show up and the person's like, you know, like climbing in a window with no pants on, you know, and I'm like, sir, please, oh God, you know, and it's just like, how do you react to that? And like, you know, so like we'll
drop the weapon.
Yeah, like write like general things, but like it's about being funny on the spot.
Yeah. Oh yeah, well, I'm all about that.
Dude, it could be a funny show, and I think it's a funny way to show people why you
audition via satellite. I'm kind of screwed.
Yeah, I mean it's a funny way to show people like why you can't just like immediately defund the police and expect things to be normal, and like that's such a funny concept because like when they defunded the police in Portland, murders increased by 9,000% overnight, or like in a month. It was like 9,000%. It was like and turns out the only thing stopping people from murdering each other was the cops. It's like, turns out everyone kind of hates each other around here, and the only thing stopping them from murdering each other was the police.
And 67.8% of statistics are made up on the spot as well.
Very true. Factual facts.
Factual facts.
Saying factual facts after that makes no sense.
That's why it's funny. That's exactly why it's funny.
Factual facts.
Factual
Non-factual facts.
Non-factual facts. That's getting confusing now.
I feel bad because I want our alien to come up, but I keep throwing him a mic, but I don't know if he wants to come up and say hi.
Who, Jack Frost is?
Yeah.
Oh.
He's our special guest alien DJ.
I talked to Jack Frostis all the never.
I was checking out Jack's YouTube stuff and his music video, and it's like so dope. Like I love the way like everything is. What's up, brother? I love the way everything you do is positioned with your backstory, and that like you're like even before he hit me up, he was like, "Oh, I'll let you know, but when I'm back in the spaceship," and I was like, "That's awesome." Like, so what's up, dude? I just love how like you stay on brand with everything. And what's happening? Welcome to the show.
Yo, thank you. Sorry, I didn't realize that you were throwing me the mic. I was just listening in and typing and doing my thing up here in the spaceship, just
no worries,
defending the universe.
Maybe the first two I threw at you might have hit you in the head and you might have got knocked out, and then you caught the third one. So sorry about that. We should always give a warning before we throw somebody a mic because they'd be dangerous.
You could get hurt. I wear a helmet 24/7 though, so I'm good.
Oh, okay. So you just straight up weren't paying attention. Gotcha.
Yeah, basically. Okay. I mean, I was listening, but it is a good point. Like I wasn't looking at my phone, so I didn't actually see it.
Okay, fair enough. Cristiano, he wasn't paying attention, man. I don't think he was paying attention.
I blame you. And everyone else.
That's fair.
Okay, good.
All right, so
they can hear us. What's up, Jack?
What?
So we just had a little sidebar that was nothing to do with you.
I appreciate it. How are you guys doing, man?
Doing fantastic, man. I want to hear more about your the music video. How it went. Jack minted out. What was it, 20 minutes? You guys minted out?
Yeah, it was quick. Technically, it was. I'm a bit of a scientist, so I had to find the exact number. Technically, it was 17 minutes and 15 seconds.
Wow, that's what she
And
said.
how many mints?
It was 11 mints, so it was an 11-piece collection for the music video NFT. And yeah, it was just wild. It was just so cool. Nice to meet everybody. In case you guys don't know me, I'm Jack Frost. I'm an alien DJ and metaverse defender. My ship crashed on Earth many years ago, and I decided to stick around for a while. And now I do huge concerts in the metaverse and hang out with amazing Web3 peeps and, do my best to inspire people along the way.
Which metaverse did you land in?
We do most of our shows in Decentraland at the moment.
Okay.
But we're building as part of the Jack Frost roadmap vision here. We're building a digital nightclub called Area 51, and Decentraland will probably be where like the first hub of it is, but it's going to be a multi-metaverse club. So we're looking at World Wide Web. We're looking at the other side, Bored Apes. We're looking at.
Have you seen my nightclub?
Have I seen your nightclub? I'm not sure which one.
We haven't named it yet, but it will be in the OVR, over the reality metaverse. It holds 500 avatars, full-bodied avatars, by the way. And eventually their avatars will be going to holograms in Q3 or Q4 of next year. And it fucking does music beautifully, recorded music or live music. However, bands, we tested it for bands and having like each band member somewhere in the world, like anywhere in the world, but they create some sort of lag after like 5 seconds. And the drummer was off by a second, and the guitarist was off by a second, and so on. It was like really weird. But the music comes in great. If just one person is playing the music in, or you embed an MP3 of 5 hours worth of music or whatever, and just put it on a loop and away it goes. But yeah, I'll DM you what my nightclub will look like ish, and it's actually under reconstruction because I threw a party in there myself and I broke it. So yeah.
Dude, that sounds amazing. I definitely want to connect on this. I'm a scientist. I'm an explorer, and so I want to
Ooh.
go in and try these things out. And you talk
Yeah.
about breaking the game. That's what
Mhm.
I'm all about.
Yeah.
But I break stuff like accidentally. Like if you need buttons pushed and you don't know what they do, like you want
Yeah,
to call
that's a
me.
different thing that we're talking
Call
about.
me.
Jack's
Oh.
like the ultimate
Oh.
beta tester, that means.
Oh.
He's the
Okay.
guy you want in your beta test because he's like,
Oh
so
yeah.
I walked to the edge of the map and then I jumped 3 times, did a circle and flipped, and then I broke the game. So you should not let people do that.
Oh
Am I
no,
right?
I'm just like, oh shit, there's a button. Click. What does that do? I don't know. Click, 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 click. Ah, fucking broke something. Shit. Now what? That's me. I do that kind of stuff.
Also
Yeah.
I
useful.
love it. Well, in the one thing that was really fun, it doesn't happen as often anymore because Decentraland worked out some of the bugs, but it
Mm.
used to be for me like the test, right, of let's say we're not selling tickets to these metaverse concerts, but
Mm.
how's the attendance, right? Can we get a sold out show, even if it's
Right.
not like, selling, but just kind of filling the room? And
Yeah.
if Decentraland glitched out so hard that people got kicked out of the realm and moved
Mhm.
over to a different realm, then to me, the night was a success. That was how we were doing it
Oh,
for
that's cool.
like,
Yeah.
yeah, like
How many
December, January time
people
frame.
fit in a space in Decentraland? Like I'm sure there is it different sizes of virtual reality real estate there.
Sorry, guys.
Yeah, it's like, to be honest, I don't know what their limits are, but
Hmm.
we've had shows where it's tough to say like if the person was in the room or if they were in the realm. So there's always these like little nuances to it.
Okay.
But we've had, like POAPs, if you're familiar with POAPs.
I've
It's
heard, but not
yeah, I
done.
can talk a little bit about it.
Sure.
It's a proof of attendance protocol. And what
Ah.
it really means is that you're basically getting like a digital certificate, very similar to an NFT that proves
Oh.
that you were at the event.
Oh, okay. Well, then
Yeah.
OVR doesn't do that because they have it on their statement claim as to how many avatars fit in a space. But each space, like virtual reality parcel, let's call them parcels, they all have the same attributes. So they're all 3,764 square feet, and they all can fit 500 avatars comfortably. But I would imagine that the size of your build, it might reduce your avatar count a bit, but it is what it is.
That's super cool. So that's like the equivalent, Jack, of like taking home like a ticket stub from like an awesome legendary concert, like the
Yeah,
last
well,
System of a Down show, and it's worth something now.
yeah, but right now, like OVR doesn't have the smoothest ability to do like a live feed in there. So when we did the live feed concert, the 420ish concert, which was in Virginia, Portsmouth, we had to find another metaverse that took a live feed nicely, so that we have a camera crew in the front of the stage. We had one in back of the stage, so you can kind of interact with the celebrity musicians there. But the ticket master, if you will, it was ridiculously hard to find something that you could buy via credit card for one, because you're not going to find a ton of people that will buy and they know about cryptocurrency and NFTs. So you want like the easiest purchasing solution, which is, hey, if I can buy a normal ticket with a credit card, then
Yeah,
why
onboarding is
can't I
really
buy
good.
this one? Yeah, our onboarding is ridiculous.
I like,
So
yeah, and
we
there's a
needed
couple solutions for that too.
yeah, so we needed a way for people to buy it via credit card and have that NFT put right into MetaMask, specifically because MetaMask is what you connect to OVR. And then OVR was building me specifically a verification layer so that when you connect your wallet there, it will scan your wallet. It will determine whether you have that NFT in it or not, and which would allow you into the space or not, so that people who didn't buy a ticket aren't getting in for free, right? So because we couldn't make that happen, we ended up going to M5 Metaverse, which could make that happen, but there was some sort of issue with an NFT. But anyways, when you bought it with the credit card, you would get your email payment verification, and you would get a hyperlink, which was encrypted, so you can't copy and paste it and give it to people, and they can get in for free. So you would take that hyperlink, you would click on it the day of the event, and boom, you're right smack dab in the middle of the space.
That's so dope.
So that was cool that we were able to do that. However, the day of the event, even though after testing and it all worked, the day of the event, of course, after like, I don't know, 50 or some odd people get in, it craps out, and all of a sudden the hyperlinks weren't generating. And so we were trying to do it manually, and each one manually took like a half an hour. So all the tickets that we sold, not everyone got in, so we ended up refunding everybody regardless. And so, yeah, it took a $2,500
Free
loss
show.
on the camera crew, so it was funny. But we did make history. We just made history for all the wrong reasons.
Yeah. When you made history, and sometimes you have to go negative to make history. That's like,
well, we made history because who will remain nameless, but a friend of mine who missed the tutorial on how to work, move around in the avatar in that space, missed the tutorial. So he gets in there and he's, of course, clicking buttons like a madman, just like I would do. And somehow, in some way, he clicked on something or other and pantsed his avatar. And so now he's running around in the M5 metaverse buck naked, and you just see him running around in circles and shit, and you're like, what the hell? And he's like, yeah. And then he walks up to this girl avatar, and he's telling me the story, and he's like, yeah. So I walked up to her, and I was like, what? Never seen a grown avatar in the metaverse before running around buck naked? Like, it was like cool, like it was like an everyday thing, you know, like nonchalant. Yeah. So he starts recording his screen. And at the start of the recording is the girl avatar turning her back to him like in disgust. And he's like, fuck you. He starts running around in circles again, buck naked, stops in the middle of the space, and launches his avatar straight up in the air like Superman. And it made this noise. Like a fucking jet.
And like he didn't even know that was possible.
No, he didn't know it was possible. He's just clicking buttons. So he launches a butt naked avatar up into the air, and then it peaks out, and all of a sudden his avatar starts doing the running windmill, you know, like when you're flying it, and it comes crashing down, and it hits the fucking ground, smack. And you even saw like little blood drops go out from the thing, and I was like, what the fuck? And
why?
I don't know, but he broke the legs on the avatar, and he's flopping this thing on the ground.
Oh, because they're probably using ragdoll physics, like they're using a game engine. So the game engine
automatically. No idea, but he's flopping a butt naked avatar on the ground, and the legs are like out like L shaped, and then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, black socks. So butt naked and black socks is not a good look.
That's amazing.
It's just not a good look. Yeah.
Well, that's a phenomenal story. I wanted to acknowledge Gods and Titans real quick. What's happening, guys? I've checked out your page, and like I'm super stoked on everything you guys are doing. It's so cool. I would love to hear more about it. Like, I actually have a show called Jesus Danger Christ. That's about Jesus landing in LA instead of Jerusalem. God gets drunk and accidentally sends him down to like LA, and then he just basically like does cocaine and hangs out in LA and just like plays hooky for like a very long, for like 3 years. But in that, like all the different gods come, and like all the gods are in the show. So like Zeus is like every single god is in the show, and the idea is that all the gods coexist in a pantheon, and they all have different voices and different personalities. But it's very like, imagine like Family Guy if they decided to do a show about all the gods and goddesses. And so the fact that you guys are like exploring that in such an awesome way, like we have a comic book that we're working on that pairs with the show that's called the Avengers. So it's like the Avengers, but of heaven. Jesus comes up with the name. And basically it's like Thor, Jesus, you know, Rama, you know, Hanuman, like all these different gods from all the different pantheons, but they're all based on the Avengers, which the Avengers are in the Justice League, which are based on them originally. So it's like all the, you know, like Diana is Wonder Woman. So it's like it's straight up Justice League meets the Avengers. So I'd love to chat more about all this.
That is actually sick. I gotta admit, I was like, I'm sitting there listening to you. I'm like, holy cow, that's
like
crazy.
Your art. I was like, yo, that's the Avengers art. Like that's what I want it to look like. And if you want to chat, dude, I'm working with one of the 3 major comic book companies on the planet right now, and like they love the idea, but like I'm like I need artists for like the Avengers, because like if I want to see like Jesus like jacked out like that. You know what I mean? Like Jesus is like Captain America with the shield, but the shield has the Star of David on it.
You could still have Thor, technically.
Well, Thor, Thor's a character. My voice for Thor is like this.
Yeah.
Another.
Yeah, listen, I mean, I'm Mike, by the way, just so you know. Listen, I got no problem in giving you some references to some, like, comic artists itself, right? I've got a few that I can refer to you, that could probably do something like that to you, for you. So yeah, you can always just DM me, and I can see if I can get you some references.
Yeah, who did you guys art? Did you guys like do you have someone internally, or do you work with other artists for that?
No, my artist friend, his name is Omar Francia. He works on a lot of DC comics right now. He
Very cool.
we live here in Tampa, Florida, and so yeah, he does a lot of Batman's and Superman special edition work for DC.
Nice.
Batman. We got Batman right here.
Yeah,
Batman's
you can
down
take
in
a
the
look
chair.
at it.
Oh, me? Yeah, I am Batman.
Yeah, no, he's so we hey, do you mind if I tell you a little bit about our project for a quick second?
Please, you guys mind?
All right.
I do
Jack,
actually.
do you mind?
I mind.
No, not at all. I'm super interested in this.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I just saw him in here, and I was like, "Yo, I don't want to lose you, and I want to have you come up and tell us about this project because it's like, I don't look at a lot of them where I'm like super dope. Like the art, I'm like, that is dope. Like it's like Zeus all like jacked up with a lightning bolt. It's really cool. I'm geeking out. I'm a big theologian, so I'm like geeking out right now.
Is it okay?
No,
If I mind? Is it okay if I mind?
Yeah. Is it okay if I don't mind that you mind?
Yeah, but just nobody ever says, yeah, I do mind. I just thought I'd be all out.
No, I still don't care. Like if you care, Brad. So like we're good. Nothing.
Okay,
changed.
perfect. Okay, carry on. Carry on, gods. Carry on, gods. Go ahead.
Yeah, no problem, man. No problem. All right. So listen, thanks a lot for the time, guys. All right, I'm Michael again from Gods and Titans, and just the brief presentation is this. Me and my friend Omar Francia from DC Comics decided to put together a project, right? And what we wanted to do was we wanted to create a version of the gods in a comic style, right? Normally we see the gods in more of like a fantasy style type of artwork, right? So we're like, all right, let's do this. Let's make this a little bit different, right? We both like comics. So we wanted to do a theme, and that's our theme. And it's based on the Gods and Titans storyline where the gods fought the Titans for like 10 years and then defeated them and ascended to, Mount Olympus, right? So all the characters in our NFT drop, there are 20 of them, are specific characters to that storyline, right? And the characters in our drop, the traits and the rarity is specific to the character, not the entire collection, right? So we have 200. Yeah, we have 200 variations of each one of our characters. So like Zeus will have like 200 versions of Zeus, right? So there'll be a total of 4,000 NFTs with 20 characters. Now, we then created a comic book that tells the story. So we have the comic book. We have a sneak peek of a few pages of the comic book available on godsandtitans.io. You can see like a cover, and you can see like the first page of it, right? And so we wanted to just kind of like show everybody that. So now Omar and I had the comic, right? We had the characters for the story, and we wanted to tie everything together. And this is where it gets really interesting, okay? So we came up with two utilities, one for investors and then one for comic and NFT enthusiasts. For the enthusiast, we created this application called the Comic Verse, or the Comic Studio within the Comic Verse. Okay, that's what we coined it. And you can check this out on our website at godsandtitans.io. And what it does is the Comic Studio allows you to import your Gods and Titans NFT into an app that then allows you to integrate your actual NFT into the comic book. Now, remember, the comic book is built. There's a storyline. All the characters are there. But if you want to take your character and take all the traits, like if you look at the Zeus with the blue lightning bolt from a sneak peek, you can integrate Zeus with that blue lightning bolt into the comic book. You generate a new comic book, right? And every time you see Zeus make an appearance, he'll have his blue lightning bolt and any other things there. Yeah.
That's so cool. So it's like dynamically swapping out based on their NFT.
Correct.
Like that's amazing. So like if they get to like their Hermes and they're like, all right, my Hermes is like this, and he's a special kind of Hermes, and I really like my Hermes, and their Hermes shows up and they're like, that's my dude.
Yep. Yeah, that's exactly. So you can make as many comic books as you have characters. So if you own 3 characters, you technically can make 3 to the 9 comic books, right? You can do one with Zeus with Poseidon by himself, Poseidon with Hades, right? You decide. and it's free, right? We allow you to do this for free. You can then mint that comic book that you created, put it on the blockchain on there, and it goes into a community generated comic collection that you can decide, like, hey, I don't want to sell this. This is really dope, or you just put it for sale. Okay, so what do you guys think about that?
And for those of you guys who haven't checked out the site yet, go do it, because like I'm looking at it and like the comic studio looks dope. It's like you guys laid it out like an RPG.
Yeah. No, that's crazy, man.
It's laid out like an RPG, and it's like Zeus, and like the 6% emotion is like rage. Weapon is lightning. Like weapon color blue, armband gold, eyes blue glow. It's like you had like the emotion too, so it's like angry Zeus versus like this is happy Zeus. This is, like, love that.
Yeah. So what's cool, right, is our version 2 and our version 3 of our software about this comic verse, right? Version 2, there's an invite button there, and just say let's just say that you and Brad have two, one of you guys have Kronos and one of you guys have Zeus, right? And you want to collaborate on creating a comic. You just put in, the other person's wallet address there. As long as the other person says yes, okay, you would then see both NFTs in the comic studio. You mint it, right? You can mint or integrate it, mint the comic book, and then I'll explain this later. But then I'll let you guys fight over the royalties over that comic book.
Awesome.
Yeah, and I was just say the last thing. Now this is my favorite.
That's smart.
Thank you. This is my favorite. This part right here, the version 3 on that. We only have a roadmap to 3 versions so far, but on version 3. You'll see that in the comic studio, you're going to see, like, if you see Zeus right now or any of the NFTs, there's an XP value, right? And the XP value maps directly to the rarity of the actual character, right? So the rarest Zeus has the highest XP. Now, in version 1 and version 2, the XP has no utility. We put it there eventually for version 3. So in version 3, if let's say you have like really cool Titan characters, right? And they all have high XP, and then you got really low XP like gods, right? Well, our AI will create a comic book that will give you an alternate ending, and maybe the Titans win in the comic.
Oh my God. So wait, if you're like stacking the team, if you're like, screw it, I'm picking Titans, over gods, and you're just gonna stack the team with your NFTs, and you have like 3 Titans, like there's a good chance that the Titans are gonna win, right?
Yeah, exactly. We just basically create an alternate ending to a storyline based on your XP in the comic. That's cool. That's my favorite one. That's the favorite. That one right there. So anyway, listen, I'll end on this note, my investor utility, right? So we recognize that, like, not everybody is into comics, and they just may want to just invest and that's what they're into, right? So for everybody who's an investor, or anybody who mints a Gods and Titans NFT, you automatically earn the right to 50% of all the royalties that we collect for that NFT from OpenSea for the lifetime of that NFT. So if you mint one of our gods and you sell it on OpenSea, and it flips like 10 times, you will get royalty 10 times. Now, to collect your royalty, we built like this DeFi Vault app into the website there on Gods and Titans IO. It's in the Acropolis. And in there, you can actually track all of your transactions. You'll see how many times your NFT is sold. You'll see how much royalties you've accumulated. And then you just hit collect, and it'll get transferred directly to your wallet. Like, no fuss, super simple. No coin. We get ETH from OpenSea. It goes right to your wallet when you want it.
And the dashboard I'm in the Acropolis right now, and the dashboard is so cool. Like the way you guys laid it out. You walk into the Acropolis, or like teleports you in, and then you can like look to the right, and there's like an explainer, and then you go back to the left, and it's your dashboard.
Yeah,
it's all these little touches. I'm like, damn, guys, you guys are chef's kiss.
You
can't teach that stuff. It's a je ne sais quoi, like you can't put your finger on it, but when you see it, you can notice it. You're like, that's it.
Yeah. So there's a style to that. Like so basically the bottom line is like we needed to figure out a way, because this wasn't like the first version, right? We like had so many different ideas, and then this is where we finally landed on, right? But what we were trying to accomplish, right, was a way to get a lot of information, a lot of detail into one site where we didn't have to send you off to totally different areas. So we landed on these immersive experiences, which make you feel like you're you're teleporting into these rooms, and you don't feel like you're traveling between like web pages and different web pages. You feel like you're part of the site,
It's
and
so
then you
cool.
teleport back.
It's so cool because it's
Yeah,
like I've
thank
never
you.
seen that before. Where the web design is like a 3D room around you, and then you're like using a little like a slider on the bottom to turn right and left. It's really immersive.
Yeah,
Like
I
super.
know. Yeah. Our illustrator. So we have like 3 artists in our project, right? So
Mhm.
we have an art director, right? His name is Connor. He's from this really big company, DDB ad agency.
Nice.
Anyway, so Connor's our art director. He kind of coordinates the how everybody works together. So you'll see like our illustrator for our website. You'll see our comic artist. You'll see our comic um, book artist, right? And he pulls it all together. And I think we all did a fucking kick-ass job on that one, man.
That's great. Yeah, seriously. Honestly, like kudos.
Yeah,
Thank you.
man.
Hey, thank you. Hey, I got
Wow.
one more thing to ask you guys. If you guys look at the logo at the top of the website, right? Can you see what's where the lightning is originating from? Did you guys see that? Did you? I don't know if you guys caught that. Like, tell me what's in the clouds.
Let me look up. Oh, from hands.
Yeah, you see that?
Yeah, so there's like a bigger god behind the whole thing.
Nice.
I love that.
Yeah.
It's
No, it's like really, the website's full of like nuggets and stuff like that. So
Maybe their music NFT gods.
exactly.
hey, thank you for the time, man. I really
Mhm.
appreciate it, man. I enjoyed the conversation. So thank you so much, man.
Of
Yes.
course, man. I enjoyed your actual roadmap as an actual road map. It's a road around the mountains, and it's super fucking awesome. Like, so cool. So where are you guys right now? You guys are before drop one right now still? Or where you at?
Yeah, no, so we literally just came on the scene. It's like 17 days ago. We sent out our
Oh,
first
wow.
tweet.
So we're early, guys.
Yeah.
Advanced alpha on this show only.
Yeah. I've been making the rounds. I've just been grinding, meeting people, and just really trying to get out there. So we're starting to make some traction, and
Dude,
it's
like
really
come
coming
back
together.
on this show, you got a permanent home because I'm like the biggest theologian. Only if you promise that we can like chat like, Greek gods and stuff. Because like
Sure, man.
because I'm
Of
guessing that
course.
you guys have a shared interest around the Pantheon, right?
Yeah, of
If you're
course.
working on this
Of
project.
course. So listen, I'm going to show you one last thing for you, so you guys to see, since just to show you like how we're into this, right? So this will make sense here. So the first drop, right, of 4,000 NFTs is 20 characters. That tells the story of the Titans and God's war. The second drop, which will probably be like 45 to 60 days after the first, is another 20 characters for 4,000 NFTs that tells the story of the Golden Fleece. And then the last one,
Nice.
okay, tells the story of the Trojan War. And then the way we did it was, if you remember the mythology, right? That was how we categorized. The first one is the gods. The second one is the gods' children, and then the third one are the demigods.
Yeah, that's brilliant.
Yeah,
So you're
thank
doing
you.
the pantheon, the sub-pantheons in different storylines.
Exactly, because you know how hard it
Great.
is to explain. Like, all the gods are so intertwined. You really,
Yes.
we need. That's how we did it.
Well, that's why there's a lot of spin-off shows in my Jesus Danger Christ, show. But like, there's a lot of like, it's like Family Guy, so there's spin-off, cutaways, right? And all the stuff with the cutaways to the Greek gods is always so like Days of Our Lives, like drama. Like one of the first times you see Zeus is like they're playing bingo. So God says like, pretty soon everyone's gonna forget about me. Yahweh says everyone's gonna forget. Well, I'll do his voice. He goes, yeah, pretty soon everyone's gonna forget about me, and I'll have no followers, and I'll have to go live in Mount Olympus with all the other washed up, forgotten deities. And then it cuts to Mount Olympus, and they're playing bingo, and like, because it's like an old folks' home, it's like a retirement home, right? Because like no one believes in those gods as much anymore, so like they're just off in retirement. And someone goes, Astera walks in, right? And it's Hera and Astera. Just because you get these jokes, Theo.
Yes, absolutely. Man.
So Astera walks in, who's the goddess of Easter and springtime, right? For those of you listening who don't know. And then Hera he's like, Astera, darling, like it's been ages. And she's like, Hera, how are you? And she goes, Hera, how are the kids? And she's like, you mean all four, or the thousands of bastards Zeus has running around the earth? And then Zeus goes, bingo, I have a bingo. And she's like, no, you don't. No, he's lying, everyone. He's lying. Just keep playing. He's a liar. And then it cuts back to Zeus, and he just goes, I hate it here.
Oh, man, that's
And so it's like
hysterical.
that little Family Guy cutaway where you're just like, Mount Olympus, like, what are they up to? And they're just sitting there playing bingo.
That's hysterical.
Hera's
I
just
got one question.
giving them the axe.
I got one question before we go on your space, okay, on this one. All right. The original Clash of Titans or the remake, man? Which one did you like?
I mean, I like them both for different reasons. You know what I mean? Like the original one was like
Yeah.
good because it's like the way I like Land of the Lost. You know what I mean?
It's
I
like,
got you,
do you
brother.
like the original Spider-Man when you first saw it when you were, 5 years old,
Well,
and do
that's
you like
different because they both
Spider-Man
have.
now?
No, but I'm saying it's like different because like Land of the Lost, even like the Land of the Lost movie versus the Land of the Lost show, right? I
Yeah,
love them both
but
for
each
different
is like
reasons.
it was awesome for its time,
Yes,
like
one was
its time
cheesy and
period.
like terrible effects, but amazing for its time, and the
Yeah,
other is like actually amazing,
I
like
know.
for like the graphics and everything. Like I was geeking out at the new Clash of the Titans.
I don't know. It's hard for like when I've watched the original Spider-Man, like now I'm just like, oh god,
I will say though that the second Clash of the
no.
Titans, the second new Clash of the Titans was actually like kind of garbage. Like they didn't even do a storyline. They were just like, whatever, we gotta get this movie out.
Yeah.
I hear you. I hear. Hey, listen, guys. Listen, I gotta run, but listen, it was great, like chatting with you guys. And then
Yeah.
just send me a DM and let's hook up, okay?
Yeah, Mike, totally, man. I really
Sounds
appreciate it.
good.
And I'll send you a DM, and then maybe I can send you guys. We can send each other vice versa NDAs, and I can tell you about which comic book company I'm talking about.
Sure.
So we don't have to like speak in code, and then like we can actually like talk about doing because if it wouldn't be anything to do with, or you could make it have to do with what you want. But like if you guys actually wanted to do a little spinoff as a separate thing, like bring your artists in, and because that's the Avengers comic is a comedy comic, but it's like the joke is like the art and everything looks like dope. And like like the characters have to look like chiseled and gigantic, and then the comedy is like it's like more of a Deadpool type comic, right?
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
listen, I've kicked around some like let's just say what do we call it? Derivatives of my own art, right? Where
Nice.
like where like you have like Zeus, right? And he doesn't do legs, right? But he's got his chisel body.
Zeus never does leg day. That's why he's gigantic.
Listen
I
like
like
that.
that.
Poseidon's afraid of the water.
Yeah,
So, like,
Yeah,
he's hydrophobic. He has rabies.
you Ren and Stimpy it. Just Ren and Stimpy it.
exactly. Or
Yeah.
Zeus has an ape instead of a lightning bolt throwing it. So.
Yeah, like that would be really interesting, Mike. Like do it like a bit more like The Boys, because it's going to be maybe a rated R comic anyway. So it's like all the superheroes have dysfunctions, and like because that's what I love about the Greek pantheon. They're so dysfunctional, and the whole idea of the show Jesus, Angel, Christ was like as above, so below, or like if we're made in God's image, right, and we're obsessive and compulsive and
Yeah.
angry and rage filled, then wouldn't the gods be as well? And so it's like all the gods and all the in the show are not like godly in any way. They act very human, and that's
Right.
what makes it funny. That's where all the comedy and the conflict comes from.
True.
Yeah,
Hey,
it is. It is.
listen,
All right, guys.
gods,
I'll catch
gods,
up with you
I
then.
know you
Appreciate
got.
you so much, Mike.
Hold up, gods. I know you gotta go, but Chris, just a further reminder, we want to keep that, replay value and not like
I
create
know
five
that's why I'm
hour
going to let him
spaces.
go, and we're going to talk to Jack for a
Well, I
little
was
bit.
just wondering if he would stick around so that he's in the end of the show kind of thing, like so people will be able to click on his avatar and
Oh well, they can click on his avatar right now, right? Can't they?
Well, just but some people just might miss
And
it.
then I have his stuff pinned, so his stuff will be pinned from the whole.
Oh, okay, all right,
Yeah.
there's that. All right, you're free
Yeah,
to
we're
leave
pinning
then,
stuff.
gods. You're
All
free to leave.
right, brothers.
Brad has
All right,
cleared
listen,
you for departure.
Yeah, I have cleared you. Could you want me to eject you?
But
No, don't eject me. Don't eject me, man.
I'm
But you do
ejecting.
need
You're
you
not
do
coming
need
back
Mike. You do
anyway.
need to
I
come
don't know,
back.
man. It's pretty fun. I've been ejected before.
There
I
you
tell
go.
you.
I just say it. Let's just do it. We're
take
doing
care,
it.
brothers,
We're doing it.
guys.
You got to come back
E-
later, Mike. I appreciate you. Thank you so much, brother.
Ejected. Boom.
Jack, back to you. Sorry about that. I knew he only had a second, so I wanted to jump him up because like I
I ejected him for real, yo.
I actually did.
I did.
So Jack, so you just did the mint, right? And that went amazing, and I think you're brilliant for doing like a lower mint, and then you get the marketing value of saying you minted out is way cooler than saying I minted 11 things. So it's like it's but you can still say that, and so that's like badass because it's like more than most people have ever done. Some people are like, I'm going to put out a 10,000 project, and they mint like 11. So it's like it's nice to know that because now you have this rare ability that other people are like, well, I want to mint next, and then they don't they missed it. Right. And so now like, you're able to promote that now for the next however foreseeable future until you make the next one,
And why the number 11? Because I do the same thing. Are you with the angel numbers on this, or is some other reason for number 11?
So that's a good question. I'm a huge fan of the angel numbers. Yeah, so it's but in this particular case, the supply count was actually the way that we got to the supply count was based on the platform and the previous drops and like the success model for those drops. So it really
You're a
wasn't
scientist.
it really wasn't a, you know, like, how do we sell out? It was like, all right, like, you know, what's the market look like right now? How do people react to these music video NFTs, and, you know, kind of what's the suggested guidance? And I had watched a few other drops, and, you know, literally just the difference between, let's say, you know, 20 versus 10, you know, somebody with 20 pieces was kind of sitting on the market for a while, and then somebody with 10 was not. And so I was like, all right, it feels like the right number. And, you know, in the spirit of angel numbers and, you know, really like numerology is, you know, very important. So like the drop is on June 2nd. We ran a week-long giveaway that we posted at like exactly 6:22 p.m.
Oh,
Nice.
Yeah, to like drive the energy starting from there. And the 11th piece was actually free as part of one of the grand prizes for the giveaway. So
nice.
it was basically, you know, give you the grand prize winner is going to win 0.05 ETH, that they can do whatever they want. They don't have to pick up the NFT. They could go, you know, buy lottery tickets for all I care, or go degen on some NFTs. And
That's cool.
yeah, and then what actually happened is they ended up going and buying the music video NFT. So I went and sent them another 0.05 ETH. I said, surprise, you know, you kind of passed the quick test here to see.
You did it, Charlie. You won.
Yeah, so
You didn't go and blow it all in one spot.
yeah,
You get the whole chocolate factory.
There you go.
Exactly.
Nice.
And so yeah, it was really cool, man. It was really cool. I mean, it's just for me, it's like it's never, none of this stuff is about, you know, making money, right? Like I didn't come into Web3 and move my brand over here with the intention of making money. I already have money. I'm a you know, successful business person on a reasonable level. You know, I'm not like some wealthy person, but like I'm here to make art. You know, I'm really, really here to make art and to, you know, push the technological landscape forward. So as I'm listening to you guys, I can tell that you guys are about that life too, you know, about pushing technology forward and about the character development and character creation, and there's so much that I resonate with there. So, you know, the sellout was amazing, but it was like a byproduct of like so many other things, you know, community building and just, you know, good intentions.
Data plus number magic, basically.
With the low mints.
A lot of data, though. I love the database, like the data focused mentality that you have, because like you said, you're a scientist. I have a bachelor's of science in film, and I always call myself a film scientist. People are like, what? What is that? I'm like, I'm a scientist of film. I don't know. That's what my fucking degree says.
I like that.
I got a technical degree. I didn't get an arts degree, you know? So it's like I'm technically a film scientist.
I like that a lot. Do you have what's your favorite genre of films?
Comedy. And I want to be like the next, you know, Judd Apatow or whatever, like the next guy
Spaceballs.
Yeah, Adam Sandler, who's just doing all the comedies, you know, or Mel Brooks is really, Mel Brooks is the goat. Yes. The next Mel Brooks.
Man, that's so cool. I'm down with Spaceballs, Space Bucks, Ludicrous Speed, you know, the whole thing. Like, I'm
Robin
so
Hood Men in
down with
Tights
all
was
of
like my
that.
favorite movie still.
Yeah, like that's what's up, man. I mean, that's
Young
really
Frankenstein.
cool.
Oh my God, Blazing Saddles.
Oh.
Dude, yeah, the amount of good movies, it's like amazing movies that dude's put out, like legendary movies, it's insane.
Yeah. Did you
Office
hear
Space,
I said
my
airplane?
Mike Judge too. That's what I mean. He's another like greatest of all time type comedy director.
Yeah.
You guys, and that's the sad thing is there's no comedy.
They don't make them like that anymore.
Oh, it's so good. But there's no. Well, I'm right here, bro. There's no comedy directors anymore. It's like my brother is a comedy director, and he won Cannes 2 years ago for doing it. And like me and him came up together, working together. We just wanted to be the Farrelly brothers. And then like we stopped working together because I was doing commercials and he wanted to do indie films. And I was just like, that
Yeah.
whole community is not my people. You know what I mean? Like
No, I know, but what I meant by that is that they're not on the silver screen.
No, I agree with you. That's what I'm dovetailing into. So my brother just shot a movie with Tom Brady, Jane Fonda, Sally Fields, Rita Moreno, and who's the other one? I gotta keep forgetting her, but the fourth one. So these four amazing actresses, right? And Tom Brady. It's about them being obsessed with Tom Brady and like following him around the country. And like that movie, my brother and his friend, who's another great comedy director, who we all work together, like they just came on the scene and they're getting offered everything because there's like no comedy directors. They're like the only ones, dude. And so it's like crazy that like you have a dream and then you end up like, and I work with them and stuff, and you end up like going and doing it, and it's like you don't think that you're going to be one of the people, but then you realize like no one's doing it, so you could just go be the big fish in the small pond and not be like, oh, I'm just going to do horror movies. You know, it's like
I think Vince Vaughn would do some.
Yeah, I mean the thing is like they don't do them because they have agents and they don't make money. The comedies don't make money anymore, you know? Not compared to like, and really the funny thing is the biggest movies on the planet are comedies. Like all the superhero movies, all the superhero movies are comedies. So people don't need to see a movie that's a comedy anymore because they can just go to a Marvel movie and see a comedy.
Like a National Lampoon.
Yeah, that's gone because now you go see
superhero
Ant-Man 3.
version.
Yeah, you go see Ant-Man 3 if
That
you
would
want to
be
see like
crazy.
National Lampoons.
Yeah.
Because that's what Marvel movies are now. They're comedy.
Right.
And so like
Yeah.
comedy has just
I
kind
hear
of
you.
like
I hear you.
gotten absorbed into every other genre. But there's not really like a comedy genre anymore.
Yeah.
You know, there's romantic comedies, there's action comedies, there's adventure
but the
comedies.
two biggest genres, but the two biggest genres are action and comedy. So why not merge them together?
That's what Marvel movies are, and that's what people don't get. And
Yeah.
that's what like what's his name? Scorsese, when he was shitting on them. That's what he didn't get is like this is not for you. You don't make action or comedy movies. This is not for you. These are two genres like blending together so they can be as cool as your movies. Okay, just give us a break.
Yeah, but times have changed.
Yeah, well, the audience has changed.
The audience has changed, yeah.
But the audience has matured, and we need things faster. Like when we did Vine stuff, it was like because the audience had matured. And they were just like, just give me something in 7 seconds, then I'm done. I'll watch it maybe 2 or 3 times, and then I'm done. And they move on. And like that was us responding to what the market wanted. The market wanted short-form content, and no one had a way to do it. And Vine put out a way to do it. And then like Vine was supposed to be a stop-motion animated, like a stop-motion app that was not supposed to be made for comedy. And a bunch of comedians, we all just hijacked it and started doing Vines somehow within 7 seconds, started doing comedy and full sketches with like props and like storylines and plots and all this stuff. And people were like,
it took off.
Yeah, it took off because it was like we hijacked this platform and we were just proving a proof of concept, which was that people could like handle a story in 7 seconds and they wanted short form clippable content. And then after that became a thing, then it was like everyone and their mother had a video app.
Right.
It's still like that. Like
we're became still TikTok.
Yeah, I mean, well, it was Musical.ly. Musical.ly was around during Vine and like overlapped a little bit, and then Vine died, and then Musical.ly took some of those creators, and the rest of them went to Instagram video. And then, because Instagram video wasn't even a thing before Vine, so like they created Instagram video, and that kind of helped kill Vine. And then Vine just died due to like complete lack of interest at the end. Everyone just moved on.
So again, Jack. Just to bring it back, and I think we're going to close this, right?
Yeah, let's have Jack give us a little more info, and I want to hear about your next show.
And also, if we can, Leo, would you play us a track to end the space? Leo, if you're still there, bud?
Yes, I'm still here.
Thanks, bro.
Nice. Would you mind playing us a track to end the space after we get a little more info out of Jack here?
Oh, I'll have to send it to someone.
Okay, send it to me. Send it to me. I'll do that. So, okay. Jack, with the low mints, and I do the same thing with my Gem Cutters 11 collection, music NFT collection. Have you thought of doing auctions on the low mints instead of a straight sale price?
Yeah, that's a good question. We have something we're cooking up right now that's a little bit more auction style. It's not it's not a collection though. It's just a one of one. Right. Really, that's the most I've done with auctions has been in the one of one space. Although we did actually have a one of one as part of a collection, and that particular piece was on auction.
Okay.
But yeah, it's something I'm open to. I mean, I think right sizing music NFT collections right now is really like the name of the game, you know, because you guys said it as well. I mean, you know, I try not to like focus too much on like those mechanics, but I do know that it makes a huge difference in driving, you know, the market forward and our whole space forward. And like watching, you guys already know, right? Watching the PFP collections and how those NFTs behave, and then watching how a, you know, traditional music NFT collection behaves. It's different, and investors aren't getting that same kind of flip experience.
That's exactly where I was going with that, because you know the ones who buy at auction, there's your identification of who's who in the zoo in your community, right? Those are your biggest supporters, the ones that are going to buy at auction, right? So I think it's important to find them in your community. They're not always easy to identify themselves, or for you to identify just, you know, by having conversations. Obviously, it's easy enough to tell the intelligent people in your community because you're talking to them, but the ones that are your biggest supporters, right? Those are the ones that are buying all the time, not just sitting in your community waiting for an airdrop or a free NFT. You know what I mean?
Totally. And there's so much to that too, right? Like it's like identifying. I have written up on the whiteboard inside my spaceship to say, know and understand your holders. You know, really like understand them. You know, why did they buy? Why are they here? You know, what do they want? And everybody's different. And it's cool. Like there's a lot of people that'll come into the community that I don't want to call them like, it's like like it's not like it's like ulterior motives, but like there's a benefit for them as well, right? Like by joining your community, they might be able to, let's say, network with other great artists and help create a platform for themselves down the road. And there's a lot of power in those relationships to be like, all right, cool. Like we're kind of, you know, two chefs, right? We're two chefs here. Let's cook, you know, instead of worrying about what's happening on the front of the restaurant. So I think it's important to know and understand your holders, your collectors, the people in your community, and then, you know, creating the right pieces for them. Somebody gave me some great criticism, which is like, you want to have, you know, a price point for everybody, and give them, you know what I mean? Like give them a chance to if they want to support and they want to, you know, collect, and they're maybe not able to buy the most expensive piece or whatever, like give them an opportunity to still get in the game. And so I really like that advice as well, something that I'm, you know, keeping in mind, you know, with everything we do. Yeah, please go ahead. Yeah.
And there's something to say for that. Like, you know, Apple does like 3-tiered pricing. You know how Apple does that basically. Like Apple will do like the one they want you to buy is the middle one, right? So they'll give you like a cheaper one, and they'll give you the middle option, they'll give you the expensive option, because they know some people are going to buy the cheaper one, and that's fine. But most people are going to buy the middle one, and there's going to be some people that don't even care that it's not the best model or it's not a good price. Like they'll buy the most expensive one, you know, and they know that. So they found a way to capture like minnows, guppies, and whales.
Yeah,
minnows.
and it's so smart. It's so smart. And like for me, right, that resonates with me a lot as well, because I'm a huge fan of Apple products. And I know not everybody is. I am. And so like for me, like my phone shopping experience or my computer shopping experience is already kind of a one-stop thing. Like I know which brand I'm going for and generally, you know, what I need, and then it's kind of just a price decision at that point, and kind of what I want to take on. So yeah, that makes perfect sense. I love that comparison. And there's just so much, there's so many possibilities, right? Like utility tokens, music video NFTs, music NFTs, you know, access passes. We talked about token gated experiences. You know, I think if I were to be placed in a category in this Web3 world, I don't really put myself in music NFTs. I put myself in metaverse experiences. And I think that when I put on that, set of goggles, that lens and that perspective, it opens up a whole new world as to like what you're actually giving somebody, instead of thinking about the value of what, let's say, music has in Web 2, royalties or licensing rights, whatever the case. Like, there's a ton of value to all of those things. But what if the selling point or the thing that somebody is interested in has nothing to do with that, aka, did we think 3 years ago that people would be like spending, tens of hundreds of thousands of dollars, if not millions of dollars, on land in the metaverse? But here we are, right? And so it's just, there's so much to it. So yeah, I could go on, but just kind of, I like to think of it as we all play our part, and I like to think of the kind of world building side of it as opposed to like just, let's say, just music.
Well, what's cool about what you said, Jack, was that, like, earlier and then to go to what you said later, but like earlier what you said about how, well, I'll paraphrase it and put it in a different way, but like kind of giving people the people are inherently greedy, and creating a system that allows for greed to exist in a way that's safe. And just like comedy clubs exist for us to express the shadow self, right, in a way that's safe and healthy, right? So you can joke about things in the comedy club so you don't do them in real life, right? So like to have that system where it can allow for paper hands, it can allow for diamond hands, and it can allow for, people who are investors and different types of like every price model, but also to allow for that different levels of like giving and taking, and the transactional nature of it. And you know what I mean? Like you were saying, how people are, maybe they're going to make a quick buck, but like not maybe totally dissuading yourself of the delusion that, or, like that's not what it's about for them. Because some people it might be about money, and you seem to be like understanding that in a very logical way, but then also incentivizing them to not just be about money. So you're trying to like acknowledge their behavior and then condition it in a different way and slightly nudge them to be like, yes, you can totally paper hand. But if you diamond handed, there's all these other fun things that you're going to miss out on if you paper hand, right?
Totally. Go ahead, Brad. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was going to say that's a great summary. Yeah, you want to add to that?
Yeah, I mean, I was just going to say, like, it's so true. Like, if you think about, let's take it to the real world for a minute and talk about the comedy club. Like, the comedy club is a business. It's a piece of real estate that, yes, maybe that person that owns it also loves comedy and also is totally about it and like a great person, but it's also a business and a piece of real estate, and they've got licenses and contracts and things like that. And there's vendors that they work with that are also making money off of that.
That's a good point.
Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah, like Mitzi Shore, like Pauly Shore's mom, she ran the comedy store, and she was like, had that perfect balance. If she knew what comedy was, she knew like the people that she put to the main room were like the best of the best, and she made you work for it. And she was like, you're not ready yet. She was like a hard ass, but then she was also like always in that back booth, just doing the taxes, doing the books, like all day. She wore both of those hats, right?
Totally. And then when that business wants to take it to the next level, if they went to the bank and said, hey, we've been getting paid off of like, sweat equity, and there's a bunch of people that really like us, like, hey, these people really like us and we've got great relationships, but like, don't worry, there's no money involved. The bank would be like, bro, like, what are you talking about? Like, that's what we care about. And so, although I didn't come here, for the purpose of making Ethereum, I know that in order to drive our business forward, having successful sales models is a key, characteristic.
And your investors, they want you to be successful. It's like, don't be ashamed of making money. Like, they're all on the train because they think that's what's so fun about this for me, because I was always weird about making money. And now I'm like, all my investors and all the people that are, buying my NFTs, like, they want me to be like a billionaire by next year.
Like, no one cares for the money. Like,
totally. And like, I think another aspect too, I mean, you know, I heard an expression one time that everybody likes to think they're special. And so I'll preface with the fact that I'm probably, you know, could sound like I'm trying to sound special when I make this statement. But like, I don't, like, I've been in crypto for 6 years. You know, I've been trading crypto and NFTs.
Wow.
Yeah, like a long time. And so when I came over and then moved my brand into the, you know, metaverse experience and, you know, what many people would also say music NFT space, I was like, how come nobody's flipping these things? You know, how come nobody's trading right now? Well, I thought this was crypto. And so it's like perspective, I guess, is probably the key word that I would use. It's just like everybody's coming from different perspectives, just like the comedy club owner, the comedian, the bank, everybody has a different, you know, perspective in that situation too.
I think it's dope that your perspective is a metaphorical performing thing, and Brad, I'll let you into the show. I know you want to. So I'll wrap it up by saying this: like, we should chat more because Brad and I are all about metaverse building. Matthew's about metaverse building, and it's 5. It seems like you're about metaverse building as too. It's like you came into the right spot because like we're building a team of builders, and everyone's their own boss, you know. And we're just kind of like because we know that's and as well as bookers. Like Jack, if you're interested in needing a booking agent or being a booking agent for the metaverse, if you know of different spaces, like I'm putting together a list of all the different metaversal shows and venues and all their owners that we are in contact with, so that when I work with Music Patch, I don't know if you've met them yet. Have you met Patch and them? Patch Bay?
I have not. No, I would love to.
Oh my God, dude!
We'll add you.
Yes, you're getting plugged in. So Music Patch is a collection of like 5,000 like producers, artists, like music video directors, like everyone.
We should
just
get her
basically
in
connect them
as
all.
a special guest.
Oh yeah, we're gonna do a whole episode on Patch Bay.
But
dude, Jack, we'll get you plugged in because like we want to set up a list of people that want to tour in the metaverse, and then people that need artists, and then just be like, cool, meet each other, let's go.
I've been doing NFTs and crypto and Bitcoin for 3 years.
Nice. What's up, Brad?
Where did that come from?
Jay in the football helmet.
Oh my God, that was funny. Jack, I just wanted to say, in regards to the whole, you know, being special or whatever, my mom says I'm special, so.
Boy, you ain't special.
I think everybody's special.
Thank you, Jay.
Okay, but Jay's
I
special.
agree.
Yeah.
Jay,
Who's this?
I think you're special, Jay.
Who is this?
And we are special. You guys are all special. I just thought it was a funny, funny way to disclaim the statement.
No, I just thought it was funny. It was good. But you're right. I understand the context in which you were using it, but I felt the need to embarrass myself. So,
but we love the humility. We love the humility, and we love the way you conduct yourself and everything. It's like, I would, you know, let me know when the next mint is. I posted up your show, your next show. I don't know if that's what you want to promote right now, but like, let me repost it. Is there anything you want to promote?
If I can shill, I'll tell you what I would love to shill is
no shilling. It's a bad word. You're sharing or pitching.
Yeah. All right, I'll pitch. I'll share. I mean, so I don't have anything that I want to sell you right now. Instead, what I want everyone in this room to do is to, you know, when you're navigating the space, look to your left, look to your right. These are the people that will most likely be in crypto in a year, 2 years. These are right now the people in the space are the builders. Look to your left, look to your right, connect with each other and support each other. You know, that's what I believe in. I think now is a key time for people to be coming together in the space. And so that's what I would promote.
Yeah. Hey, Cristiano, you'll be building with a wall because you're on
I'm going to be building because Brad's going to be out of crypto. And so
it'd be
me and the wall.
No, because to the left of you, you hit the edge of the phone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if it's between the wall and you, which one of you is going to be out of crypto? It's probably going to be the wall. It's going to be still in crypto, so just me.
Well, that's a 50-50 now that you say it.
So that basically you're saying there's a 100% chance I'm going to be working with Brad because of my positioning, because I'm stuck between a rock and a hard place over here.
Lucky
That's
you.
our show. That's
Fuck
our
you.
show,
That's
ladies
our
and
show for
gentlemen.
tonight, boys and girls.
Guys, you gotta
Jack,
go.
But yeah, but
he's
no,
got,
Jay had his
Jay's got to
hand up.
go.
Jay had his hand up. Let's finish with Jay,
What's
and
up,
then
Jay?
we're gonna go to our track by Leo
Yes, Luke.
to end us out. But after your, what did we learn today? A segue into the ending of the show. So yeah, Jay, this is the last comment for you, dude. What's going on?
Like about what we learned today.
No, that's my job.
What? Hey, why not?
What did Jay learn today?
What did Jay learn today? Yeah, yeah.
I learned about like, I mean, I haven't done it in a while, but I learned about like some different type of coins and all that.
That's cool.
Nice.
Nice. How old are
You got
you,
to
Jay?
keep learning every day.
How old are you, Jay?
A kid.
Good
I'm
answer,
rich.
bro.
I'm rich as hell. I'm rich as hell.
He's a
What?
rich ass kid.
What did he say? What did he say after that?
He
He
said,
said
"I'm
he's
rich as hell."
He's
Talk your
rich
I,
as
shit,
hell,
Jay.
but he's
I
a
actually
kid.
thought Jay was using the B filter voice
Yeah,
here
me
at
too.
first.
But now, not so much. But anyways, all right. Over back to you, Chris. Let's end it.
So what did we learn today, kids? Today we learned about well, most of the people that you meet in Web3 are metaverse builders, uh, and because that must mean something that we're probably
True.
all sensing the way the buffalo are headed. So we learned that the metaverse boom is about to happen. The gold rush is real. The metaverse is real, kids. It is not fake. It is not a fiction, and it's not going to be run by Mark Zuckerberg. So we're building our own metaverse over here while they're doing whatever the hell they're doing over there. So we learned about that. We learned about Gods and Titans who came in and dropped
That
some
was cool.
awesome art and awesome. I didn't even know that was possible with comic books. So honestly, like, and we're really early, so we got some early alpha. So for those of you who missed that, check out the Gods and Titans posts up there and listen back to the space and
Yeah.
get on that because that's dope. We learned that NS5 and Matthew are building something awesome together, and I can't wait to get off the call and get on a call with them and find out what it is.
For
I'm
sure.
super excited. What else did we learn, Brad? What did you learn? We learned about respect, right? Respect.
Yes, respect versus,
Yeah.
or not versus, but respect and trust in which order they should come in.
Which is
And,
what? I forgot already.
Everyone deserves respect. It should be given, and trust should be earned. And there are
That's the one.
degrees. There are degrees of trust as well. Yeah.
Like there's like degrees of burns. There's degrees of
Degrees
trust.
of burns. Yeah,
There's like
absolutely.
third degree trust, and then second degree trust, and then first degree
Yeah,
trust.
absolutely, for sure. And I think that's pretty much it. If we need to figure out what else we learned here today, we have it recorded. It will be posted out, and you can feel free to listen to it again.
And I'm gonna
And
post up the link to that
yeah,
at the
the
very
link to
top,
that.
so you guys can
Absolutely.
listen to all of our shows.
And we're gonna play us out with Luke the Leo's track here called Morning, and he says it is beautifully tied into, gives the feel of this space today. So here we go, and voila! Thank you, Luke the
To
Leo,
play us out, the talented Luke
to
Leo. Go
play us
follow him.
out. Yeah.
Guys, just letting you know my real age is 17. I might sound like I'm younger, but peace.
Peace, brother.
Have a good day, all y'all.
You too, man.
Thanks for coming, everybody. Much love, much appreciated. And we're out.
Subscribe to
Much
my
love to
YouTube channel,
everyone.
blue_J, and follow
See you
me.
on the flip side.
Yo, Luke,
Defund
accept
our
my
TikTok.
request.
What's that?
I said let's bring Luke up to speaker so that you can pimp out Luke.
Can y'all follow me?
Luke Leo.
I
You
just
got it,
got
Jay.
Twitter.
Oh, yeah.
But you gotta let us. We will, but you gotta let us bump this music because we gotta end the show. So I'm gonna mute you. All right.
Okay.
This music
We already
is-
followed
so
you,
we'll
Jay.
Followed you, bro. Boom, done. Yo, Luke, throw up your hands. Let him know. There he is, right there. Y'all go follow Luke Leo, man. He's one of the dopest producers on this platform.
Beautiful sound. That's it, everybody. Thank you very much. Have a good night. Peace.